the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable. Hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable. Hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag fly the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club Chelsea forever will stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share, each kid.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Chelsea News Roundup Show. I do hope you're all doing well. I cannot thank you guys enough as we get closer and closer to 30K subscribers. At the moment, we're at 29K and 232 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer, and I couldn't have done it alone, so I appreciate you all. And today we'll talk about Valentín Barco, we'll talk about Senesi, and then I think two more other items we have lined up. But here's the thing, because we keep it interactive here, it's not just about the panelists, it's about you in the chat. We have a conversation to try to come to a sensible conclusion. If we exhaust what we have lined up to talk about, then we go news hunting. It doesn't hurt to do that. And I trust that on the timeline of my bro, Vince, there'd be a lot to talk about. So without wasting much of your time, I'm going to go to the presentation window. But before I do that, it's important that I say hello to all of you in the chat as usual. But I see my bro here. He has quite a lot. I'm not going to read everything he has. Bast, I think he sent like 1,000 messages. Dang it. I'm not going to read all of them. But the first thing he says, big up to you too, my bro. Mabast05, aka MB05. He says, hope you're well. I can't complain. Any day above ground is a good day. So he says, let me read what he has to say through there. Cannot wait for Tuesday's game and then the Hull City game away on Liam Rosenior's return to MKM Stadium. Yeah, he was once their manager, the club he used to play and manage for them. Yeah, I agree. Of the Chelsea indeed. And good night to you too. I know it's late for you. That's why you just stop by to drop a like on the video and then say hello and go get your, you called it beauty sleep, right? All right, see you tomorrow. What else do we have here? I have, my Kenyan bro. Toby, nice to see you once again. I do hope you're doing well. It's been like 1,000 years, but I'm not saying you're a vampire, but you get the gist. Wishing you all the best. You too, my bro. Thank you for finding the time to join. Modmana is at work. Appreciate that. A big tie. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. A big up everyone. Hope you're all good. We are all good. And that's from Spots Rant and Bants. My bro, I appreciate you. I like all your stuff on Facebook, and I'm quite sure you're seeing that yourself. Hi to you too, my sister, my Canadian sis. Yes, I will love those that love me. I liked that post that I had to repost it, and that's the way to see life. I appreciate that. Hi to you too, Miss Melina. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this particular evening. Ty says hello to Ty. Who else is here? Spots, Runs and Bands. That's Modman saying hello to you too. Now fam, Chelsea is just out here making a banter look easy while Arsenal still cannot find their way out of the past like it's a time machine. Okay, the AI it is learning. It's starting to have the sort of, you could say, attitude we want it to have, human-like attitude. We're still training it, but if you're a content creator and you want to use it, we can give it to you, give you access to that application free of charge, as long as you're a friend of the community. All right, let me see. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to take care of something quickly. But as you wait for me, please keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. This particular evening is still 5:27 p.m. CST for me. And yeah, thank you. And we have our senior panelists on here. Bobby, thank you for finding the time to join me on the panel. We don't have a lot lined up to talk about, but because we keep it interactive, chances are we talk a lot about the small little stuff we have lined up. So, but thank you. 6 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. 19 people on YouTube. At least if half of you like it, we should have something close to 10 likes, but it's not close. Let's go to the presentation window. I think we're there. Let's do it like this. So that the display, okay, well, we're not streaming on no vertical format today. I forgot to turn it on. But that's by the way. Let's go here. The first item, Senesi. I think he's, how old is he again? Yeah. Hold on, Senesi. What is his age again? His age was one of the main reasons why at the time, it didn't seem to me like as if we were serious about signing him. But then I learned that he'd be a free agent by the time the summer transfer window comes around. And that made me believe, yeah, maybe we're actually seriously interested in signing him. He's a good ball playing defender, capable of orchestrating the defense, splitting passes from from his own area. Very calm also. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to his ability to defend the box, which is something I like. The primary is one of the first thing I look in defenders. But I've heard a lot of good stuff about him. And if we can sign him, good. As a free agent, maybe because we'll be able to sign him as a free agent come summer transfer window. I think. If I'm misquoting or if I'm not accurate here, please educate me. Ty, what do you know about Senesi? When is he going to become a free agent? I'm not well acquainted with his contract, but I think he's a very good defender. I just don't know how good he is in defending his box, but I know he's excellent on the ball. Has excellent passing range, yeah, plus vision too. In the fact, I don't know if I don't know when he's going to be a free agent, but I want to hear from you, Ty. I think soon, actually. Yeah, I think soon. But that's by the way. This particular report from Maresca 92, it reads Brighton, Chelsea, and Manchester United have inquired about Marcos Senesi. Here's why I'm concerned. Why I'm concerned that we might not be able to get that deal across the line is because if all the clubs are interested, chances are they'd offer him a straightforward salary. I'm not saying we don't pay well, we do pay well, but the sort of salary we offer to players are structured in a manner that you earn what you work for. We don't want to offer salaries that whether you're playing well or playing badly, you still be earning the same amount of money, which I've said 1,000 times that I actually like that. You can argue that actually one of the reasons why the young players will have are doing as well as they're doing. So let's hear from Ty. I've asked Ty a question here, and I think he's able to help. Ty says, okay, Senesi contract expires June 30th, 2026. So by summer, he'd be a free agent, or even before summer, actually, before the summer transfer window. So, okay, so let's see. Senesi, yeah, it happens to the best of us. I'd like us to sign him, but I'm concerned if he has if he has plenty of options to choose from, then there's a slim chance he'd become a Chelsea player. Bobby, thank you for finding the time to join me on the panel. I do hope you're doing well, and I urge you to please be patient with me. We're working on finding a solution so that the Blue Morning Show will still also we also stream will still be on the air. Is that how you phrase that? We're working on it, even if it means hiring a producer to make things a lot easier on me, because yeah, I do take a lot of stuff for us and take care of a lot of stuff for us alone, and it's not been easy. But Bobby, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. You know, I don't take that for granted. Your thoughts on the possibility of Chelsea signing Marcos Senesi? I think he's a good defender. If we can, I take it. He brings experience, and he's a very good defender. But let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, big up, coach.
That's it.
I don't know if anyone else is on the panel, but if they are, big up to them and anyone in the chat. Look,
Ty in the chat, Miss Melina in the chat. The first thing she said, but I think she said, "Bobby out. I don't like you."
coach. Miss Felina will never say that. I know. Listen, coach, if the Jeremy Jacquet situation has taught us anything, it is that Chelsea are not going to bring in another defender. You know, we made the move for Mamadou Sarr for that very reason. I know Alsamino is now injured, but he's another one waiting in the wings. We have
Mm.
in camp Josh Achimpong. We still have Fafana. We still have Chalaba. We still have um, Badiashile. We still have Levi Colwill when he gets back. All this is just talk bait.
But that doesn't mean if you find a good player, if we can sign a good player, a player as good as Senesi, as a free agent, why not? As long as we can afford his salary. That's what big clubs do.
well, I'm not sure we're looking that way. I hear you. I know what you're saying, but to be honest, I don't see the project going that way. I think they have built
Even as a
their,
free agent.
yeah. I think, we have a structure. I think they have built the conveyor belt. You can see it now. It's coming to fruition. There's a lot of players now waiting in the wings in Strasbourg to transfer to Chelsea main team. We have what's that guy we got from Brighton? He seems to be doing well there. There's another
The
guy,
South American, I can't remember his name.
SNC, so
And
whatever.
Ciso, yeah, Julio and I think Julio is his
Saw
first name.
him. I saw him score two really good goals. And we've got this other guy that we bought from Brighton, the tall striker. Not even talking about the one that's actually coming. There's another one, tall guy. Like, you mentioned his name just earlier.
You're talking about the one that can play CM and also left wing guy. You're talking about Barco.
Yeah, him. There's him. Then there's Diego Moreira, who we sold there to develop. And I think there is a buyback for him.
We played it well there. Yeah, we played it well with Diego Morella. We liked him, but probably Maresca, you could say, wasn't prepared to accommodate him at the time, or maybe had no room for him. So
Yeah.
we had to, and I think we didn't have a room for a loan option at the time. So we had to send him to them for £1 million with a buyback clause. I think we played it really, really smart there.
Well, there's him. Then there's Kenda coming. I've forgotten whatever happened to Angelo Gabriel.
He was sold on a permanent to a Saudi club.
Okay, well, that's a shame, but there is a conveyor belt of Chelsea players coming through. The
Mhm.
purpose of the sister club is yielding some fruit. We have Penders in goal as well. So I don't see them doing that. Unfortunately, you can't have every good player on the market. It's really got to be somebody that we feel we have no replacement for, or we feel is of great value to the defense, or any part of the pitch for us to go for. Um, the only place I can see any kind of business being done is if anything happens for someone like Morgan Rogers that we've been looking at for years. I think that's the only real sort of buy that could be viable. But this guy, as good as he is, and as useful as he'd be to us, I don't think he fits the model and the project.
Hmm.
Um,
All right, but we did make an exception for Tosin, and irrespective of what people think about Tosin, I think
and I didn't mention,
he's
yeah.
contributed a lot.
He
In all
has, and
honesty,
he played well before he was injured in his
yeah,
last
exactly.
game.
So if we made, I think the only reason, uh, I'd say we might actually end up not signing him, if we, if in fact the clubs mentioned here, if they are interested, I think he would. I think he himself. I think he probably might up to join a club like United. Probably they offer him what I call a straightforward salary, rather than a heavily incentivized salary, because that's that again. I'm going to say this, I've said it already. That doesn't mean we don't pay well. We do pay well, but the salary we offer to players is structured in a manner that you earn what you work for. You have to be fit, playing, winning stuff, then yeah, you earn a lot more. But let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, we will see what happens. But
Mhm,
there comes a time where the quality of players you have are on par.
mhm.
Now you've got to make a team out of them, and you've got to make them a winning team. There comes a time where it doesn't matter who else is out there. You have to have faith in the execution of your own structures. I mean, I remember when Liverpool won the Premier League the last year. Was it last year? Because they're current champions, aren't they?
They're the current champions, yeah, which means last
So
season.
when they won it, they didn't go into the transfer market at all. They had their team set. So no matter what anybody else was doing, it didn't affect them. They had their team, they had their structure, they had their system, they knew the players were good enough. I think we're coming to that. We have to understand that what we have already is an exceptional team. And sometimes a lot of these other players can just serve as a distraction. Look at Real Madrid. They went and got this, they got that, they got the other, and now they had to farm out Endrick because he's just a distraction. They don't really need him yet. Fortunately, he's young enough for them to farm him out, but it's the sort of Chelsea model, isn't it? You're young, you're a bit of an overload, so we send you somewhere to develop and make yourself appealing to come back to the first team and be an addition. So we're coming to that point. I don't think we need much business in the transfer market. We need to consolidate what we have, keep them fit, and execute them. We have never had a fit squad in the past 3 seasons. Never. That is an indictment. If this squad is fit, look at what Cole Palmer was saying after the Wolves game. He said if he's 100% fit, he goes up to another level. And I believe that of all these players, Lavia we've never seen. Asugo we've not even seen at all. Um, Colwell off injured. Badiashile still recovering, really. We've not had that whole team fit, firing, and ready to go. So there's not much to add to that. I just think we need to add to the left hand side and take some strong decisions there. We've got Esteval who can play centre and right. We've got Neto still. Centrally, we have. I still think we need another person, but we're getting that other person in. What's his name? Is it? What's his name? And I've forgotten his name.
Already on our books.
Yeah, the guy coming from Strasbourg.
And from
No,
Strasbourg, oh, you
striker.
mean the goalkeeper?
Striker.
Emera,
Sorry,
Emera.
Omega, whatever. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see, he's coming as well. So that is another one on the conveyor belt. We're set. We've got the manager who has worked with these players for years. the blueprint is there for Chelsea. Chelsea just need to get it right. Honestly, the way this team is, it's already far more potentially capable than any of us really realize. When they click and execute, it's going to be formidable. It's going to be what Maresca predicted, a team that can dominate for at least 4 or 5 years.
Mhm. Here's what I'm going to do, Bobby. I'll catch up while we have the chat, but I'd like us to talk, to discuss the Jackson's, Nicholas Jackson's at Chelsea future once again. The managerial change. There's a chance, if in fact he chose to leave Chelsea because yeah he had a falling out with Denzel Maresca, just as a lot of people suggest. Then that's a chance he'd still get to play for Chelsea, irrespective of. I don't think there's a possibility that happens. I don't think the possibility is there, but that's just my opinion, given what was said from his camp, said stuff they said, and the club said what they had to say, like a lot of defensive stuff from the clubs how do I phrase that side. But let me catch up with what we have there in the chat. I'll come back. Let's discuss the possibility of Nicholas Jackson getting to play for Chelsea again. And here he says that they won't unless he wants under 100k. I disagree. Tosin is on around 150 or so. I think the only problem, as I've talked about already, would be him not wanting a heavily incentivized salary. He would want the sort of salary where week in, week out, he earns a certain amount, irrespective of whether he wins anything or not. And he might want that. And the fact that there are other clubs interested, I wouldn't say Brighton. I don't think he would opt to go to Brighton because most like you could say off the bat, it'd be accurate. You could say to a certain measure that it'd be difficult for him to win anything at Brighton. But United, we're learning. We've heard are interested in signing him also. Signing him also. They're making progress, so he'd get a chance at least to win something if he joins United or Chelsea. But United, I don't think they offer the sort of salary we offer. I don't think they do the heavily incentivized salary stuff. So that makes a huge difference. I don't think the amount is the issue; is the structure. Let's see, Basa. What is Basa also interested in him? Okay. Aerial dominance isn't his strongest attribute. He is a 6 foot one. So I don't know. If he has a good leap in him, irrespective of whether he's even 6 foot or even a 5 point something, that makes a huge difference. Kukurea isn't the tallest, but he has a good leap in him. Even Benchi, well, but you get the gist. But I believe you do know him better than I do. So yeah. Um, don't know. Yeah, I understand. I just wouldn't. Okay, what are you saying, Steph? What are you saying? Okay, you just want one or two more good players that will make us play better. I understand, and thank you for joining the conversation, Stefan Patterson. I appreciate you. Hear your opinion matters. If this is your first time, please be sure to subscribe and also drop a like on the video. Sincerely, do appreciate you. I will come back to this also. Let me highlight it because yeah, this is more like a question posed to you, and I know you do agree with this comment that we do need let me read that again. Better wingers, but I'll get back to that. Okay, what else we have here? And a backup to Joao Pedro. Let's go up. What's that particular comment that I had highlighted a few minutes ago? This one here, Nicholas Jackson, uh, Bobby. If in fact that the reason he chose to leave Chelsea was because he had a falling out with Enzo Maresca, which is believable to a certain extent. It's also believable that yeah, he didn't want to compete. He wanted what he had, what Ty would call the main guy syndrome. Wanted it to be all about him. Wasn't ready to play second fiddle to anybody. As Vic, he said in the chat whenever we discuss that particular topic that he's looked at the new signings and figured that yeah he is going to become the third choice striker, which I don't believe. But your thoughts, Bobby? What is do you see him getting to play for Chelsea again?
Um, yeah, I mean, I remember when I said this on one of your streams, I was shut down. Look, it's possible. It is possible. The reasons, the moving of a manager can change a lot of things. It gives players the feeling that they have a clean slate, that
Mm.
the obstructions that was there, if they felt they were obstructed, that the obstruction that was there for them is removed.
No longer exists. Yeah.
Now, an example of that was even the Sassi. After a while, he started training with the first team again, which was
Or a
something.
prime example would be Antonio Rudiger. Although he didn't leave, but he was on the verge of leaving.
Yeah, Rudiger as well. Yeah, I don't know. The circumstances under which Jackson was moved on was pretty odd. He didn't need to be sold. The rumors of him going started circulating, and then Chelsea started publicly showing they would entertain a sale, which is just telling a player we don't really need you. And someone with an ego like Jackson, he took it personally. Whether his issue is with Maresca or whether his issue is with Chelsea Football Club or both, I'm not too sure. But he's still a Chelsea player. And in the summer, that would be made, the clarity behind that will be made obvious to us. I don't know if Rosinia is very good at talking. If Rosinia likes him,
He
it
he
may.
he had me believing that would see the Sassy play for Chelsea again.
It
Did
could
you
have
remember
happened.
what he said?
Yeah, it could have happened
Mhm.
if the loan deal, or if he couldn't be moved on. It's possible, but I wouldn't put it beyond the realms of imagination if he sat down and had a talk to Jackson, especially if he feels he could use him. But alternatively, he could and will be sold. But the thing here with Jackson is that the market we thought we could get for him doesn't really exist. He's not going to be that much of a heavy priced player. He might be one of those that we sell with to break even and add some sort of sell on clause to see if we can make a little extra.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated situation, but let's see what happens. Although chances are all the stuff we read at the time that we were made to believe was coming from his camp were coming from his camp, but chances are he didn't. It's the media; they make up stuff all the time. And if in fact that Maresca was one of the main reasons why he chose to leave, I think I think he'd be open to return to Chelsea. Um,
Yeah,
and I think we'd be open also to reintegrate him because he's a good player and he makes us better. A lot of us, I think all of us wanted him to stay
yeah,
because,
I
yeah,
certainly
the,
did. Yeah,
we wanted him to stay. We didn't want him to leave. I get it. We did get into debates on whose fault it was. It was that, yeah, that led to him deciding to leave at the time. But that's fine. Where we have my bro in the house in Tobago. Big up to you, Tobago. Thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. And more likes. People keep dropping the likes on the stream. The more likes we got, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream to more people who'd be interested in the topics we have lined up. Yeah, let's get the likes up, people. Please like the video if you haven't. And Drew, have I said hello to you? Actually, Drew, I hope I have. But Dan, big up to you. Thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. I do hope you are doing well. Let's see. Modman is saying hello to people there. This AI is going bananas. Who is Modman fighting with? He says, Borov, mate. Chelsea still got more flair than your whole team. It's going bananas, really, but I think it's still undergoing training. He will get better. Move on from Nico. He will get sold in the summer. Look, whether he comes back or not, I don't really care. We're just discussing the possibility. I think it was Drew that said, ask the question. Something you can say, you'd interpret as a question, so we had to talk about it. The lab out on loan, Jackson back in the squad, make it happen. The lab isn't going anywhere. Let, let me say that. I don't think he's going anywhere, except if United, as we've heard, that United, they're contemplating making a move for him come summer. If they come and he shows again, he indicates that yeah, he's that he you could say the willingness. He shows the willingness to join them. I think would say bye, Felicia, but I don't see that happening. I think he's going to play a lot. He's going to start scoring. I think I'm still I argue. I'd still you could say debate anybody with regards to the reason why maybe reasons because it's plural, not just one thing. Illness, injury, lack of full preseason. In my opinion, those are tangible reasons for one not to be performing consistently. And remember that managerial change also is a factor to also consider. If you want to speak objectively about his situation, I'm not saying he's the best thing since Didier Drogba or maybe Diego Costa. No, not even close. But I'm just saying we ought to judge him objectively and not just conclude that he's not good enough. Remember, wasn't it 2 months ago or so that a lot of Chelsea fans were questioning the signing of Joao Pedro? Then we later learned that he was carrying an injury, and yet at the time he was still performing actually. But that's by the way, they want 2 seasons with no backup strikers. That they bought the lab, and Zhao, the owners wanted to rid of him. Okay, if that's what you believe is the case. Let's see. How we looking at these players? We are broke. Big up. I think we will have enough money by summer. And this one is also no, not PR. Not everything is PR in my opinion. But I get where you're coming from, Dan. Tobeho Jackson is hardworking. He will prove you wrong. But I still don't think he will come back. We had to talk about it because you mentioned him. I think it's a very very complicated situation. The relationship has gone down south. And it's gone south. I'm not sure it's fixable, but that's a small opinion. Chances are it is fixable. And if you remember the way Rosenior spoke about what's his name, Axel de Ceci reintegrated him into the senior team training session, and he actually did say something about Raheem Sterling that made me felt like, is he trying to reintegrate him? Maybe he thought about it. I don't know. But let's see what happens here. African winner Jackson back at the bridge is a possibility, but I don't think it happens. Do you reckon we will sign a Valentín Barco in the summer? Houston, we'll get to that particular topic. We have it lined up. I think when we get to it, we'll talk it. He's a player I like, and Tabeho knows him more than I do. Tabeho, I believe, not I believe, certainly he's watched tons of Strasbourg games than I do. I think it was him and Dante that made me start watching Strasbourg games. And I did realize it's important that I start watching their games because, yeah, the relationship between them and us. Yeah. Let's see. It was disrespected to replace Jackson. No, don't just jump to that conclusion. Really, he should have stayed and fight with the lab. And yeah, had he stayed, I think he'd be playing quite a lot right now. Yeah, exactly. I don't. I disagree. That's one. That's one. That's one thing I would never agree that he was forced out. No, maybe if you say he felt disrespected or maybe he felt that the club don't take him seriously anymore, then I'd pay attention to you and maybe we have something to debate. Well, I don't know who to believe. However, still don't trust our sporting directors. That's up to you. Here's the thing: we don't work for the club. All we can do is speculate. Yeah, Barco is a midfielder. Barco, as a fullback, he can play. I've seen him operate as a CM. I've seen him operate as a left wing back too. Yeah, but he's you can say he's properly equipped to actually fulfill the number 10 role. All right. He says he's a midfielder now. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that because you do know him better than I do. I admit that. Tubejo, the Corey is a walking red card for Strasbourg. All right, costing Strasbourg 3 points. Okay, what's everyone's score prediction for the Leeds game on Tuesday? I usually don't like predicting games without looking at numbers, even though I'd still tell you that numbers alone, what numbers can do is to help you come to a sensible conclusion with regards to the possible outcome of a particular game. But here's where everything changes. Once the kickoff whistle the ref blows a kickoff whistle, everything becomes fluid. It's not a certainty that the outcome of the game will reflect what numbers suggest it be. Numbers can only help you come to a sensible conclusion with regards to the possible outcome. But football isn't played on paper; it's played over 90 minutes plus added time. So numbers alone can never be accurate. Okay, Barco, the one who played for Brighton. Yeah, I think he was there before. How much did they sell him to Chelsea for? I can't quite remember that. Really cheap, really. Blue coat to be more specific. All right, let's see anything else. At least someone knows how to write. Who wrote your name correctly? Drew. Oh my goodness, I'm dying here. All right. What else? Maybe we should celebrate it. Nothing interesting here. It says it's hard enough to know what team, let's say, what team we have out these days. Okay, because the manager is still, you can say, rotating the squad, the starting 11 a lot. What else? Anything else? He says, Tabejo, did you get your phone back? Okay, I'm not gonna read that. But that's fine. We keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation. Let's go back to the presentation window. We've talked about Senesi, and what next do we have here? Give me a second here. Whoosh! I need to change this system. It's become too slow, really. It doesn't respond. You can say I'm supposed to switch windows, but look, it's still on that one. Let me use Alt Tab maybe. Let me see. Give me a second. I apologize. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. In total, we have 56 people, 39 on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook. Whether equally, I do not know. So Joao Pedro's a stunning opener from a win against Napoli has been voted as Chelsea's January men's goal of the season. That was a thunderbolt of a shot. The goalkeeper just had to, you can say, pretend he tried to stop it. I think he was unstoppable, left-footed actually. He was determined to take that shot, and yeah, he went into the back of the net, and the goalkeeper just had to pretend he attempted to stop it. I think it's that goal deserves it. Yeah, that goal deserves it. So congratulations to him. Even the second goal was beautiful. His intelligence and the way he used the body of the Napoli player that closed him down to ensure the goalkeeper doesn't see the ball in time. That was a very, very good, an intelligence play from him. Very good finish on the carpet. The second goal was on the carpet, well placed, and the goalkeeper couldn't do much to stop it. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm gonna move on from here. What else do we have? I can't keep reading everything people have there. Sorry, something is happening. The system isn't responding properly. You see, I'm not sure why it's doing that, but I'll just refresh it. All right, Bobby, anything else you want to talk about as I wait for the page to load? But it has. I think the Joao Pedro code, we've addressed that. No need. Let's move on to the next one. But it was a beautiful goal, though. I wanted us to talk about this something that Rude Gullit said, former player and manager for Chelsea. He says Chelsea are a little bit too frantic for my liking. There's no player or leader of reference in that team who gives them a little bit of a piece or holds the ball without giving it away. That's something that they lack a little bit. It's all too nervous on the pitch when they play. I disagree. I don't know, Bobby. Maybe you see it differently. Or if you're in the chat, I'm quite sure you heard what I read or the report we have on the screen. I want to get your thoughts on Rude Gillett's opinion on the current Chelsea squad. For me, I think that's a lie. We do have leaders there. Kukurea doesn't have to be the most vocal to lead, but he leads by example. Robert Sanchez has become a more vocal than usual. Is also a leader. Enzo Fernandez leader. Reece James leader. They don't have to be screaming at each other every minute they are on the pitch together for you to know that, yeah, they're capable of leading. They're maturing. And I don't think we give them enough credit for how much they've grown or they've matured. But Bobby, let's say, what do you make of this comment from Gillett?
Sorry, coach. I was distracted. What's he saying?
He's saying, let me read it for you. Rude Gillett. Chelsea are a little bit too frantic for my liking, for his liking, not me. Uh,
Mm.
there's no player or leader of reference in that team, which for me is absolute horse dung. That's a lie. Who gives them a little bit of peace or holds the ball without giving it away. That's something that they lack a little bit. It's all too nervous on the pitch when they play. I disagree. He's entitled to his opinion, but I don't think this is accurate. But let's hear you. I went on to mention all the players that I believe that matured into leaders. I mentioned Reece James. I mentioned Kukurea, who leads by example. He might not be the most vocal. Even Tosin, we've heard, leads on and off the pitch, and we learned how important he was to Cole Palmer's recovery when Cole Palmer was injured and was out for a while. Reece James is a leader. Enzo Fernandez, leader. The goalkeeper in Robert Sanchez has become a leader too, and he's vocal too. I'm not sure why Gillett he's saying this, or maybe he's saying it because he had to say something. But let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, what we have here quite often is people take something that somebody said several months ago and post it today as if it just came out yesterday. Ruud Gullit probably made this statement at a time where we were struggling, looking a bit leaderless over a period either towards the end of last season, maybe even halfway through last season, or at some of the rocky points this season, but last year. It's not a current statement. I can, bet my hat on that. But people, yet again, just to sensationalize and to make themselves look relevant and get likes and clicks and so on, they will repost old stuff and make it look like it's something that's just happened. It's irrelevant right now, and it's not even true right now. Just as you've said, you can count so many players now at Chelsea that look like leaders. I mean, even Rob Sanchez during the 3-2 win over West Ham, what he did at halftime showed a lot of leadership. So it is, as you've said in summary, an inaccurate quote.
I mean, if we're talking about, you can say, needing certain profile of players, from, you could say, skill sets perspective, then it makes sense. But saying this is even if he said this now, I think it's way too exaggerated in my opinion. I get it. Dan is saying a legend is speaking facts. We don't have leaders at all. If it was true, where was our? Let me read this. Where was our leaders when we lost to Arsenal? Really? You kidding me? So because we didn't have leaders was the reason why we lost to Arsenal. You are you really saying this? When then we beat PSG, we must have some of the best leaders in World football because we beat PSG, who were who again, yeah, still is. They're the current champions, the European champions. We beat Liverpool, who are the current Premier League champions. Yeah, we didn't have leaders on that day. Barcelona. So I'm not sure how you're trying to justify your argument that Hewlett, that yeah, he's speaking facts. But you're entitled to your opinion, and I respect that, and that's why we're here. You present your opinion. If I have a counter opinion, I present mine. But Heston, I don't think he's speaking. No, he's this thing is isn't true. This comment of his isn't true in my opinion, and I respect him as you can say as a Chelsea legend, but I disagree with what he said. You agree with him? That's fine by me. You have every right to agree with him. We don't lack leadership. If you tell me, then maybe we need more experienced defender. Yeah, and I think at some point I think we've had this conversation with Dante where we talked about there are if in such of leadership there's sort of character that we bring into the dressing room, um, rather than help nurture the younger ones, it could become a problem actually because
Yeah,
they're growing together. You can't just get a total stranger and plug that stranger in. You say plant it in the dressing room and expect them all to just start. You can say, I'm not sure how it's to phrase it, but you get the point, Bobby. You end up creating a problem rather than you can say implementing a solution because they're growing together. They respect the current leaders they have within the team.
yeah.
You get. Let's see. I don't know if you want to add to that, Bobby.
Yeah, it's not an accurate statement. I think it's an old statement that's been brought forward. People take old talking points and keep regurgitating them, not realizing that things have moved on since then. The team has moved on. Many things have changed, and leaders have come up. Enzo Fernandez is showing himself to be more of a leader than he ever was. In fact, he's quite priceless on the pitch right now.
James,
Caicedo,
that James, Reece James. Let's use one example for James. Obi, I apologize, please. Our Conference League final against Real Betis. I think we were a goal down, and when Reece James was being introduced, he told Maresca, "Boss, we're going to win." That's leadership.
yeah, yeah,
When we were struggling, we had a poor run of form at the time. He called a meeting. That's leadership.
yeah. No, there are
He
many
told
leaders.
people before the Club World Cup final, he said it during the presser, right? That we're going to win.
Yeah,
That's leadership. He didn't just say
yeah.
it.
Levi
Probably
Colwell was saying it.
probably must have had conversations with his teammates or maybe had a meeting with them, and they believed they were going to. That's leadership. He didn't just say he. Well, I'm not sure how else to explain it to you, Dan, but I like what you've just said. Go ahead, Bobby. I apologize.
Yeah, leadership is not the issue. There's so many leaders there. Caicedo is also showing a lot of leadership. I've mentioned Rob Sanchez, Cucurella as well. I know people don't want to admit it, but Chalaba, you hear some of the things he says and the way he galvanizes the defense. We have leaders all over that pitch. Um, to be fair, even Joao Pedro up top, he shows leadership. So
Oh yeah.
it's an inaccurate old statement, but some people still like to hang on to these old talking points and put them out of context. It's not relevant right now. It may have been two seasons ago, but certainly it's not relevant right now.
All right, more likes, people, more likes. Let me catch up with what we have here. But Dan, thank you for that conversation. And Dan, you can share the link to your YouTube channel because you're a moderator here. So I'm waiting to see it. Whenever you share it, when I get to it, I'll read it out. A big up to you to the Prince is here. The Prince, let me ask you, you know why I say it? I say your name the way I say it every time I see you? The Banj. I liked the Banj. I like him a lot. But that his Coco album. I think Coco was the Coco was released as a single. I loved that song so much. I was still in Nigeria at the time. But big up to you, to the Prince. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Modman is saying hello to a lot of people there. I appreciate that. A team cannot be set without a mix-up leaders and others to guide the younger ones. So seriously, we lack leadership in our team. We don't. I disagree, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I totally disagree. Yeah, we don't lack. We have leadership. If you're mentioning that we need certain profile of players, then we have a debate. But that's my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. If you say we lack leadership, okay, up to you. I don't think we do. They're growing together, and it's important for us not to risk, you can say, getting the tattoo stranger and planting it in the dressing room, expecting him to become the leader. I think we will cause a lot of issues. Like you can say, we'll end up creating a problem rather than implementing a solution. But that's just my opinion anyway. What else do we have here? Okay, Modman, I'm going to stop reading your stuff there. A lot of feisty stuff. We need a proper experiencer to be a proper captain. You're even making it worse. So if you're the manager, Dan, let's say we sign Thiago Silva, or let's say we sign Senesi, who's more experienced than some of the players we have. You'll make him captain because of his more experience. You're even you're making it worse, from looking for leaders to you suggesting that some stranger be signed, because irrespective of how you see it, you sign a new player, irrespective of who that is. I'm quite sure no player that you sign in world football now that will come in there that you say all of them will agree that make him captain and we'll be okay with it. I don't see that happening. We need a proper experienced player to be a proper captain. If he works like that, then Trevor Chalobah should be you could say, the vice captain rather than Enzo Fernandez, because he is Chelsea through and through, a graduate of the academy. It doesn't work like that, really. All right, let's see what else we have here. Where was our leaders in both games? Where was our leaders in the game? We didn't. Okay, if you're asking, how did we beat Barcelona if we didn't have leaders? How did we beat PSG if we didn't have leaders? How did we beat? You can say, how did we beat Liverpool? How did we win the Club World Cup if we didn't have leaders? How did we make it into top four? Since that's your logic, I'm not ready to debate with you until maybe you phrase it. If your argument is that we need certain profile of players to make us better, then we have a debate. But saying we don't have leaders, I think that's not accurate. Let me just use a simplified language so you don't feel like I'm slating you. Coach, it wasn't hard to beat PSG. They were tired, and we beat Liverpool. Weren't we tired too? Yeah. What are you saying here? Because they've been crap all season, really. How about Barcelona? You need one more excuse. Yeah, how about Barcelona? You tell me. All right, but let's see what else we have here. Character is more important. I think I agree with that one. But that's, by the way, I'm gonna say hello to those of you that I haven't said hello to. Then I will just highlight the subsequent contributions in the chat. As much as I like to interact with you, I can't read everything you have there. And yes, but Eugene, my assistant, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. And my bro here says 50 people are here and we have just 13 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that, although it's gone down to 37. It fluctuates. But we should be doing a lot better than 15 likes. If you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So I'm going to go back to the Coco Master. Exactly. Yeah, Coco Master. Smash the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The same or not the same, we won against Barcelona fair and square. Exactly. So I'm not sure what excuse is gonna make there. but up more importantly, up the Chelsea. And people go check out Dan's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him continue to grow. And we have on the panel the captain of the community in Constantine Dunn. Big up to you, Vante. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Whether you want to comment, do you want to comment on the leadership argument?
Yeah, big up, Coach
Big
Bobby.
up to you too.
Everyone in the chat.
Okay.
I see you're entertaining. You're entertaining. Wiki Dan. That's his nickname, Coach.
Oh, really? Wiki?
Yeah, just call him Wiki Dan from now on because he looks everything up on Wikipedia. That's where he gets all his sources and his information. It's all Wikipedia. So I've named him Wiki Dan. Yeah, that's his nickname.
I think it's a good one. Wiki Blue Dan.
Big up, Dan. Yeah, look, the leadership stuff. We do have leaders now. We definitely have leaders. We've got them, like Bobby. I heard Bobby when I came on about Sanchez. Yes, 100% Sanchez is a leader. Cucurella is a leader. If we're talking about experience, even Caicedo is quite a leader. The way he plays, obviously, Reece James. Enzo Fernandez.
You could say we seem to take for granted how experienced they've become, how mature they've become.
Yeah, they're not young anymore. Those players are not young.
Mm-hmm.
Cucurella and those players are not young. 27, Sanchez 28. They're all, some of those players are leaders. They've won stuff as well. They've won trophies, European Cups, World Cups. Enzo Fernandez. So we've got some experience in there. Can we have more? Yeah, it's got to be balanced. Got to be well balanced. And like you said, it's not just any player that comes in. Doesn't matter if you're older, more experienced. If you're not a captain, that you don't have that in you, you're not going to be one. So it just depends as well what the manager likes as well, because every manager is different. They have their own beliefs and how they see a captain or a leader. So yeah, but I think we've got quite an abundance now. We didn't at the start, but now they've turned into leaders. Some of those definitely have turned into leaders, 100%. So I don't
And
think
it
we're
wouldn't
lacking
make sense to just bring in an outsider, then make that outsider captain.
No, well, that's the thing. That's why this group was brought together for a reason this long, so they can grow and prosper together, get to know each other well, have great relationships, which they do. And yes, the captain will be from one of those players. So I don't see that happening at Chelsea, a new player coming in and being captain. I don't see that at all. It will be from the core.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let me ask you this. I think we've already talked about, discussed the comment. Just give me 1 second here. Dante out. Yep, I like it. Bring on the hate. Please do it for him. Dante, yeah, cook him down there. Let's see what else we have here. Is it how you pronounce that? Is it Do and
Do it, yeah.
Pancelli? Due and Pancelli. That's who I want from Strasbourg. But here's the thing. I don't think you can say we're allowed to always go there. We always go there and just, you can say, because we can, and take their players. There are players who are only on loan there. I think we can. And if we want to sign some players there, I don't think it's that straightforward. It's not like, okay, I need that one from the store, bring it here. I don't think. No, I think even if they can, if we continue doing it, at a certain point it becomes a huge problem. Even now that we haven't done it that much, they're protesting. They don't like that.
Coach,
Yeah.
look, they have, I think, nearly half their squads are Chelsea loanees to start with. And then the rest of the squad are players that we've sold to them with a buyback clause, like Diego Moreira. So they don't really have a leg to stand on
But will it be
because
okay for it? But is it really nice if we keep doing that?
it's not nice, but ultimately that's the name of the project. That we're not going to leave them in the lurch.
They're going to
Like
get
when
compensated.
we
So it's not like
ex-
we get them for free.
exactly, when we took Rosenior, we left them with an excellent coach who is doing very well with them. When we took Mamadou Sarr, we sent Ansel Mina, who
He was an
unfortunately
excellent
is
defender
injured.
too, and more of, you could say,
Yeah.
what's his
So
name, the current coach's type of defender.
exactly. So we're not looking to decimate Strasbourg. It's of no advantage to us or to them. But they are the feeder club to Chelsea, whether they like it or not. We send players there to
Damn,
develop.
Bobby.
Well, that's the truth. We send players there to develop, and if they can make the cut the mustard, they come to Chelsea. It's just how it is, and their fans may not like it, but let's have it right. Let's just tell the truth. What was Strasbourg before Chelsea invested in them? They were
Don't go there,
nothing. They were
Bobby.
heading to League Two in France. They were heading there. They'd just come up from there and they were going back. In fact, to be honest, the only other time I'd heard of Strasbourg was one when I went there on a course. Lovely little place. I loved it. Nice historic churches and things. And also when we got Frank Leboeuf, who was a Strasbourg player. Apart from that, I never heard anything about Strasbourg. So their fans can kick and scream as much as they want, but they got a good deal here compared to where they were. I'm not saying it in any arrogant way. It's just
No,
the
but I
truth.
understand where you're coming from. Even you could argue the ultras who are protesting to a certain extent. You could argue they're not. You could say grateful because yeah, we've
But
made yeah.
to
Go
to
ahead.
my to my understanding, because I've only recently started watching them because of the Chelsea investment there. But each time I watch them, the fans don't seem to be upset with certainly not with the team. And to my understanding, their ultras have an understanding. And what they were fearing was just what you've said, that Chelsea will come, use them, abuse them, and leave them in the lurch. But now that they're seeing that it's not quite like that, that we're not invested in their downfall, they seem to be slightly more accepting. They're in no position to be giving it large. No position. It'll be different if it was honestly, to be honest with you, if we or shall I say when we take over Sporting in is it Sporting we're after? It is Sporting in Portugal. I think their fans will have more of a reason to feel some type of way than Strasbourg. At least Sporting have been winning things, and they are a club of some sort of standing. But Strasbourg were nowhere. Chelsea came and rescued them from oblivion. They were heading down. They'd been down. They
And
came up.
hadn't participated in a European competition
E-
for years.
Exactly. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm really not sure what their gripe is. If these guys pull out, they will drop like a stone. So they better enjoy the ride, see how far it takes them. The only thing I feel sorry for them for is should they get to something like the Champions League and they're not going to be allowed to go on because if they're there and Chelsea are there, there's only one club that the ownership is going to allow to progress if the European Commission will allow that.
Last year. So that's already been done, the blind trust. So if that happens, they've got a safe fail there, no problem.
Go ahead, Bobby.
That's it. They are a feeder club. I could look if it was I've said if it's Sporting, I can understand why their pride will be hurt because they've done something. But Strasbourg are fortunate to be a feeder club. Do you know what I mean? It's like back in the day when Roman used to do business with Vitesse. The Chelsea players that went to Vitesse gave them some sort of standing. They
It
started
helped them a
doing
lot.
well. Yeah,
Are they still in the top division, Dutch top
well,
division?
good
Are they
question.
Dante?
Good
I think
question.
they are. I think yes, they are. I
Okay, they
can't
still
remember,
are okay.
but I
They're,
think
they're, they're certainly not what they were when Abramovich was furnishing them
You
with
don't hear
Chelsea
much
players.
about them yet.
No, they're nowhere near that team. So Strasbourg need to chill a little bit. I don't know where all this arrogance is coming from because I don't get it. It's not like if it was Saint Etienne, who are nowhere in France now, at least they have some sort of history. But
Actually, no,
Strasbourg,
they're in the second division. They're not in the first division. Just checked.
who's Saint Etienne?
Oh,
Or
they
Vitesse.
No,
relegated.
Vitesse, Vitesse.
Yeah, you see, there you go. So Strasbourg, I mean, come on, do me a favor. Really?
And just add to that, Bobby, they just haven't invested there. They did new change rooms. They're looking to do a new training center, and they've already built and have more plans to build the stadium to make it bigger, the stadium, and more modern and brand new as well. So it's not
Yeah,
All
just
courtesy of Bluco.
yeah.
yeah.
Wow,
We've done them a turn. So
and they're still protesting.
no, they don't know what they're talking about. As far as I understand, the protesting has died down. But if there are still groups there kicking off, they're clueless.
There's one group, and they're doing a protest tomorrow, whenever it is right now.
You could,
It's a smaller group,
would it be
but
right to
they're
say,
the
Dante,
hardcore
they're
fans.
rubbing off? You could say they're copying the Chelsea fans.
How?
No, they were first. They're not copying the Chelsea
They were
fans. I
first,
think the
okay,
Chelsea
before
fans
us,
copied
okay.
them.
They
Hmm.
were first, but it's an immeasurable comparison. What are you saying? I'm not saying you, but do you know what I mean? What are you saying? Strasbourg, what have you done? It's ridiculous. So what? It's, and I'm not saying it arrogantly. I'm just saying what?
Yeah,
I
look,
can't get.
I understand the fans, the ones that have the problem, but unfortunately, there's not enough of them. And when the majority, by quite a bit, says the opposite, I mean, what leg do you have to stand on then? I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, basically.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right, let me catch up with what we have in the chat. I'll come back to the panel. Bobby, I don't know whether you were still speaking. Were you?
No, no, I wasn't.
All right. All right. Chelsea for life. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but let me just go with Conte. Conte, thank you for joining the conversation. If this is your first time here, welcome. Here, your opinion matters. I appreciate you for finding the time to join the conversation. If you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Sincerely do appreciate you. And what do we have here? Give me a second here. Okay, that's that responded to Dante. Okay, big up to you too, Mike and Noom. Always nice to see you. Appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. West Ham never had a clean sheet until the CC yesterday. Yeah, I mean he works for them. Congratulations to them. I hope they pay up when they come to sign him on a permanent and we tell them how much we want. Look, they say one man's poison is another man's food. We've always known he's a good player, but the difference is the way we knew the moment we were on the verge of announcing Enzo Maresca of our manager. If you were well acquainted with his skill set or the way he applies himself, or you can say his deficiencies, to be more specific, you'd know that most definitely he'd have issues. You can say cementing a starting place under Enzo Maresca. We knew because as good as he comes across on the ball, he needs space a lot of the times because under the slightest of pressure, he makes primary school level mistakes. And we knew he was in trouble. So good luck to him. I'm happy to hear he's doing well. We need that money. Hopefully, there's a clause. That they have to buy him on a permanent. But I didn't hear anything to suggest we have any sort of clause with regards to whether they end up buying him on a permanent purchase or maybe I don't know really. The Wikipedia thing I like it. It's funny. I know it's a joke. Nobody's taking anything for granted. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead. Um, I don't want to add to that. Something came to mind, but if I say it, Dan is not going to like me anymore. Coachila, gratitude 1914, and that's my bro Adabayo Mark in June, and that's Einstein's. Your DP is Einstein, right? the scientist, I believe. That's how I was able to say, yeah, that's my bro there. Change his name. Coachila, let's call a spade a spade. These players are class players. Okay, considering transfer sanctions from UEFA. Here's the thing. Maybe I don't understand what you're trying to say, but I believe I do. You're saying they're good players. Correct me if I'm misinterpreting your contribution. That do let me know. I've always said we have. Uh, I've always said we have a good squad. Even though I agree, we're not perfect yet. I think we're a few signings away for being ready to contend for the Premier League. That's my opinion. I don't disagree with you, my bro. Hopefully, I did not misinterpret your contribution there. What else do we have for sure? Let's see. And he says, Pacielli, is that how you pronounce it? Already has Fofana in place as a replacement. It's plainly cost effective, and also he's a good player. I need Pancielli and Due. I am sure Liam will fancy him as a competitor to Joao Pedro. Let's see what happens. Are you going to bed already, Tebeho? And Chimera
Don't
is
forget
here.
Omega's coming as well. People keep forgetting about that one.
And Mega is coming, and he's a good player. But here's the thing. Pancielli and the others, they are the new shiny toys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why people are overlooking the fact that Emega is coming. And Emega is one of Strasbourg's best players, actually. He's been, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out. He's calling himself Mr. Negative, and I'm not gonna stop calling you that. So more likes, people. We have 54 people following the show. If half of you like the video, we'll have at least 25 likes. So let's see. Cannot wait to see Jesse Derry promising. Dante, how good is this kid?
Yeah, he's very good. Very promising. He's very skillful, good height, not bad physicality, even though he's still young, obviously. But he's got a bit of everything. So yeah, to go along with his technical ability. So I do like him. He can play the attacking midfielder. He can play on the wings. Like I keep saying, at this age, they don't really have one position in the youth levels. They kind of play a bit around in different positions, like he has done. So yeah, look, he's a very, very promising player. I hope we do see him. I think we will see him because I think he's probably one of the top sort of two in that team that will probably, get a chance as we go into the FA Cup against some other teams, some of the cup games, even make the bench maybe for some other Premier League, etc. Make the bench at least. He has done, I think. Oh, no, he hasn't done that yet. So I think that's the next step for him. But yeah, he's very, very talented. He can do it all in that
Yeah,
attack.
a lot of people saying. I've heard a lot of people say talk about him. They say he's really good, and maybe given the absence of Gittins, he might get a chance. I didn't check whether he was on the bench in our last game.
No, no. So
Uh,
yeah, I hope he does, but like I say, he's one of those players that he's playing on the wings at the moment, but I see him more as a 10. I think he'll become a 10, and I think he's got that skill set and the vision to be a 10. So we'll see what happens, but don't be surprised he will get a call up to the senior team. I'm pretty sure he's one of the next ones in line, most likely.
and Liam gives a lot of young players. He gives them opportunities.
He does. He does. We'll see how much. Uh, we'll see exactly how much opportunities. Maresca did that as well, and then stopped doing that after. So it just depends. The pressure's still kind of on. He's still going to play. Your best players. So I don't think we will see that much. We haven't even really seen Achapong. We have seen him, but he comes on as a substitute the last 10, 15 minutes. But we haven't seen him start since his.
Maybe there is something you could say. A change in approach means there's something the manager would want him to learn before he gets to play a lot.
Correct. Yeah. So, yeah, look, we've got some really good young players in the academy, some really up and coming. We're always pretty stacked in there anyway. But yeah, we've got a couple of really, really good ones really stand out. And Jesse Derry is one of those guys, 100%.
Bobby, you used to watch the academy kids quite a lot. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, back in those days, I don't know, it was a kind of unofficial a subscription to support the academy team where I was part of the fostering system that would house one or two of these youngsters coming from other clubs and from other countries. Um, and that was it. You know, they would stay short term sometimes, sometimes they'll stay long term, up to a year before they got alternative accommodation or were old enough to get their own accommodation. A lot of them were under 18, so you know that wasn't really the case. Or if they had family that was relocated, or whatever, it was all that sort of making them feel safe, making them feel welcome, making them have a home here in and around Chelsea, getting them to training and so on. So it was a privilege. I enjoyed a lot of time watching their training, watching their games, especially those marvelous youth cup runs that we used to have. Some very very exciting evenings watching them. So yeah, I got very involved with our underage setup for a good number of years.
All right, thank you so much for that. Dante, just let me catch up with a few things. He's injury prone. Who is Emera? Really? Is he really? And then Bobby, I don't know when Chimera became your biggest fan. He's always siding with you to make sure you and I fight and you and Dante fight.
Well,
All right,
talk about it.
Waka Flocka Project. I love those guys. Anyway, Emera fell out with Liam. Did he really? I think he fell out with Strasbourg, with the Strasbourg's hierarchy for a comment he made during an interview, and that was when he was on the verge of joining Chelsea. Right? I don't
Yep.
think he had a falling out with Liam. I don't think so.
We don't know exactly. Like, yeah, it's more got to do with, like you said, exactly where he misspoke. Didn't really misspeak, but yeah, he did, and it's in the club policy written down that you can't, do that. And yeah, he just got he got a suspension for that, but it wasn't ill, it wasn't really anything bad even from Strasbourg. It was just automatic. They had to do it because, like I said, it's written down in their rules. In that's just one thing they've held like a tradition from whenever they started. They still follow those rules. It's just part of their culture. So, and that's one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know. Even if they had a falling out, I think they will make up. Yeah, it's really it's that simple. They have no option than to sort it out. Looking at the players in our squad, it needs okay, it needs in playing style and the EPL. I will repeat, top European clubs are already in for him. Emera is grossly. How do you pronounce that again? I can't pronounce it correctly right now. Grossly on limited, really? As a forward, is he really? I get it, he's still very young, but I think he's good. And I think we have other options. Even if he joins us, it's not like he'd be the only striker available to the manager. I'm
And he's
not
not that
concerned.
young, coach. He's 23 already, so it's not like he's
23, yeah,
18,
and I
19.
think he's a good player overall, really.
Who's this Omega
Yeah, I
you're
think
talking
he's a good
about?
player, but it looks like Adebayo don't like him. Go ahead, Bobby, if you were saying something.
Yeah, I mean, this alludes to what I was saying earlier when we were talking about that Bournemouth defender. And I said, look, if anything, the Jeremy Jacquet situation has taught us is we're now at a phase where we're not really going to be buying players anymore.
We have
Maybe,
them somewhere.
yeah, the conveyor belt is set coming through Strasbourg or wherever else we've got them on loan. Maybe if it's an exceptional talent that we've eyed for a long time, vis-a-vis Morgan Rogers, yeah, we might splash the cash there. But apart from that, there's no need. We're getting to that point where we have to show faith with what we've got because they're worth showing faith for. People like Josh Achimpong. I don't personally, I don't know him, so please, I stand corrected if I'm wrong. But I cannot see why Jeremy Jacquet should be regarded in any better standing than Josh Achimpong. And we now have Mamadou Star,
And that's
a
Samino too, who's gone on
a
loan to
yeah,
Strasbourg.
Ansel Mino is now coming to his own, although unfortunately he's had a few injuries and has another one. And Mamadou Sarr, an Afcon winner. I mean, we've got players. They just need to stay
He's
fit.
AFCON winner, Club World Cup winner. Uh,
Yeah,
you have
although
to count that. So he's actually, you could say,
well, at least he was with the squad. Let's put it that way. But
I mean, whatever experience the squad gained from winning that, he did. Did he play? I think he played a few minutes in one of the games.
he did. Yeah. So we are at that state. We just need to keep these guys fit. Let them have a run as a team. We still haven't seen Lavia, really. We certainly haven't seen Asugo. That we have so much quality. The only place we're lacking is that left hand side, as I keep saying. But we have a lot of quality, and I can see why Rosenior is licking his lips
And
because
why
he's like,
he's saying that we have a very good squad.
"Oh, for sure we do." He's like, "Look, I can get if I can get a tune out of this lot, it's happy days." That's what he's thinking, and I see why he's thinking that way. So it's got to that time where it's like, do you know what? I don't care which great player is floating around, going here, going there, going everywhere. You can't buy everybody, and you've got to sometimes lock down on what you've got and perfect what you've got, and you will be formidable. Yet again, I look back to the Liverpool team that Klopp took, this past team to win the English Premier League. They didn't buy anyone that summer. They didn't buy anyone, and yet they proved themselves to be the best team in the land. I think we are more than capable of being the same. And the prediction by Maresca that this team will dominate for 3, 4, 5 seasons, I can see it happening if
And we're
we get
actually
it
ahead of
right.
time in terms of what we've achieved with this very young squad, actually.
Yeah, if we get it right, keep them fit, why not?
And here's the thing: something else we predicted was going to happen. Liverpool, we did know, and we did talk about how they're just signing too many players. When people were saying if they sign Isaac, that's it, and we told them no, that's not how football works. You have to look at how many players they've let go and how many they have come in. Football is not that straightforward.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
will eventually click, but maybe
yeah,
by the time they click, it's gonna be too late. And
yeah,
that's exactly now they'll be lucky to finish in top four.
much to my delight, they are suffering from too many good players at once and a new manager to boot, who, although he's been there for a season, he relatively just walked in smoking a cigar on what Klopp had left. Now it's his gig. And it's not that easy, molding these people to anywhere near the team Klopp had. It's not impossible because they are quality players, but it's going to take them time. And the disadvantage of that is that by the time they have that time, others, hopefully like Chelsea, would have caught up. So it becomes a very difficult act to follow. Man City as well isn't relaxing on their laurels. They're bringing in players. They've got players, and they're trying to click as well. Arsenal already have the fruits of their 6 year project, and the only way they can go is down, really, because they're right at the
In
peak.
all honesty, that Arsenal project has been,
It's
for me,
been
irrespective of whether they win the league or Champions League this season, for me, a failure. Because how long and how much they've spent, I get it. People always prioritize speaking about how much Chelsea have spent, but Arsenal they spent billions too. and
Yeah,
having won, they don't have anything to show for it.
yeah. I mean, look, the English Premier League is not easy. English football is not easy, and they came with certain projects. They tried to fix certain things, and this is why we need to cut our ownership some slack, because they have had many trials and errors. They had this, they went this way with young players, then they went that way with this set of players, then they went that. They've been going up and down with different projects before they.
And can we actually talk about how you could say we could have actually experienced a situation where they will not, they, you could say they refuse to admit that they made a mistake and continue on the wrong path.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
made
that,
many
yeah, that would have
mistakes.
been more dangerous and disastrous for us. But they felt, okay, this is a mistake. This is not sustainable. We have to change this.
Exactly, and that's how it. Well, that's how it goes. They had the days of Wenger, who was as stubborn as they come. He didn't want to change, and he insisted on a certain type of player. And then Arteta comes in and quarrels with a lot of the old types of players that were there because he wanted his type of players. And it's only now that he's more or less got his squad that they're currently ripping up trees. But football goes in roundabouts. They've reached their peak and they're living the peak. The only way for them now is down, and we'll be there to kick them as they're falling.
And they're in trouble, actually. That comeback today by Manchester City, that sort of comeback is a serious confidence booster.
What you mean, Man City? Man City are building.
Ooh, that comeback today changes a lot for them. And he
What
will
you
put a
mean
lot of
against
pressure.
Liverpool?
He will put a lot of pressure on Arsenal because Arsenal will still play us. They still play Man City. I think they still play Man. Well, who? There's one other club. They still play Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, look, Arsenal. It's not going to be easy, of course, but they are in a very, very good position. And if they blow this one, then heads will roll there because there's no excuse for it.
Let's see what happens. Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
see what
absolutely.
happens. Yeah, here we have Chimera says, you got the boy walking over time. Coachila, let him sleep. Bobby just loves to talk Chelsea. Just go away. I will support anyone with sense. Coachila, Bobby is one of the guardians of high standards alongside Ty NJ, except coach. Okay. I'm gonna block you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna block you. Let's see if you have the chance. Dante,
maybe,
coming back to you, Senesi, how good is he? And rumors suggest that yeah, we've inquired. That doesn't necessarily mean we're that serious in signing him because we've been linked with a move for him ever since. But as a free agent, if he, you can say if he's open to join us, I think we'd move for him. It'd be definitely a signing that will make sense. But because United are interested, Brighton not so much of an issue for me, because I think he'd know that he'd be more likely to win something at Chelsea than Brighton. But at United, yeah, he still can win something if he joins them. But your thoughts, the possibility, and do you think it makes sense to sign him?
Yeah, look, he's a very good defender. He, drives the ball. He's good passing, ball playing. He's very good, but I just think in where he is in his career right now, his age, etc. He won't want to come to. I don't see him wanting to come to Chelsea and kind of being around all these young guys and not really being a starter because he wanted to be a starter coming at Chelsea. I just don't see that happening. So I just think he would go somewhere else where he would actually be a starter. 28, 29 years old. I don't see him coming here, to be honest,
What's his
unless
nationality again?
he's Argentinian, isn't he?
Let me check, but go ahead. I'll check for you. So that
Yeah.
I just want to check if the World Cup is a factor for him.
Yeah, so that's a great point. Yeah, you have to play. So I just don't see him coming here. When Colwell's back, no one's starting to go for Colwell, Sa,
If he
etc.
comes back
Maybe
the same.
Yeah, well, that's another issue if it does come back the same or not. But still, with Sa, maybe we buy another one in the summer. I don't see him coming to Chelsea, to be honest. Yeah, even though he's very good, he won't cost us obviously nothing
So
for
you're
his good
correct.
play.
He's Argentine. So the World Cup is a factor.
Yeah, so he needs to go somewhere to play every game. If he wants even a chance at it, coming to Chelsea, I don't see that happening because he will not play that much. He'll come if he does come. He won't play every game. Probably you'll be more on the bench than not, but he will play every now and then. But I don't think that's what he would want at this stage in his career. Is where he is now. He's somewhere where he can go pretty much to a lot of other clubs, none of the big clubs where he'll be a starter. So I just don't see it happening, to be honest. In my personal opinion, yeah, I wouldn't do it, and I don't know if he'll do it either. But that's just my opinion.
I think he might choose to go to Brighton, where he's, you can say, guaranteed to play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, money's still going to be pretty good. Will he get more at Chelsea? Not how we're paying, but he might get a little bit. He might obviously get some more as well. But yeah,
Guaranteed
like I
pay.
said, at this age where he is now, I think for him, if he wants money, he'll go to Saudi Arabia. Don't rule that one out because he'll play as a starter there, and he still can get a look at in the national team if he's playing every game. So he can go there. Like I said, I just don't see it at a big club. Hard to see unless he accepts a rotational role. That type of role. That's the only way. But yeah, I really do not see that happening at Chelsea.
All right, thank you for that. And here, an English team will win the Champions League. Who is the team? I don't know. Um, we're still there, and when you can say if you understand, or if you underestimate Chelsea, you'd be doing that at your own peril. Don't count us out. But we're the underdogs as usual. Arsenal probably one of the favorites, or if not the favorites. If we're going, they say if we're talking about English clubs alone, yeah. Liverpool, they're still there. They have a huge chance. They've been doing well in Europe. Even Tottenham, they finished. Where did they finish in the group fourth?
Yeah, something
Right?
like that. I remember.
Yeah, something like that. So for me, I'm not sure. I'm not sure really, but we'll see.
I think
Oh,
PSG.
Drew.
Don't forget, PSG is still there. Bayern Munich. Those two are
Yeah,
very
but he's
strong too.
saying an English club. He's saying an English club will win it, but
Okay.
yeah, that's why I mentioned only English club. Coach is Drew. Okay, welcome back. Dante, let's talk about Marco. What's his name? The Strasbourg player that we're hearing. That let me open that page.
Barco.
Huh?
Barco, you're
Barco.
talking?
Is that his last name? Barco.
Yeah, Valentin Barco. Yeah.
Valentín Barco. Yeah. That our manager wants him at Chelsea. Uh, can you tell us what sort of player he is and why do we really need him? Really?
Look, originally he's a left back. Uh, he went. He he was quite very well, scouted by a lot of teams. Brighton picked him up through their really good scouts and they're good
But
directors. That they are directors.
unlike them, they sold him for cheap.
Yeah, so he didn't really. That is the only thing. He didn't really work out in England, but he was even younger then, and not so. He's put a bit of meat on him so he's not quite that small anymore. He's very small in height though. I think he's 5'7" or 8. I think 5'8". So he's very small in height, but yeah, always a left back. And then he went to Strasbourg, and Rosenior turned him from a left back into a first as a wing back, and then he inverted him into the midfield. And now, since for a long time, he's started as the central midfielder, not inverting anymore. Just starts as one of the two sitting central midfielders. So
And he's
yeah,
done
look,
well in that position.
he's done very well, and he's very small. He's very quick, as in acceleration. And it's not easy to get the ball off him when the players are really, really small like that and really quick with their feet. He's very technical, Argentine as well, so he's very technical with the ball. it's very, it's very hard to get the ball off him because you look one way and he's already moved from there. He's gone on the other side because he's that quick. So he's got that in his game. He's got the technical ability, the passing, the quickness, that quick acceleration where he can burst, and he's got that fire in him as well. For a small young kid, he's got a lot of fire. Like you can see, his hair is redhead, so he's got a lot of fire in him as well. He plays pretty hard. He doesn't back out
Oh
of a
wait,
challenge.
redhead means he's got a fire in him.
We have a special name here in Australia that we call
No,
redheads.
I understand. Here's the I'm sorry. Okay, here's the thing I want to ask you. How has he improved since joining Strasbourg? Because the reason we were able to get him as cheap as I heard, I can't quite remember how much we paid Brighton. Um, you think probably they think he wasn't gonna make it. That was the reason why they sold him as cheap as they sold him. Even the other guy, is he on loan? The one that wasn't too sure whether he was joining Chelsea or Strasbourg.
I think it was £7 million or something like that. Yeah,
That's for Barco, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm talking about there's another one from Brighton too.
Which one? I'm not sure.
He scored a goal in the game against, is it against
Oh,
Monaco? And
Enciso.
Ciso, is he
Yeah,
on loan there?
yeah. I think he is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't buy him. I'm pretty sure it's a loan.
And
I have to double
he's
check. I'm
doing
not
well.
sure, but they were discussing it, like to make it permanent or not. I'm not sure if they made it permanent on officially. That is permanent, or they just agreed on the loan with you have to buy him at the end of the season. So yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Hmm.
Have to check that one up to be 100%. But
Yeah, I'm not quite sure because at the time we heard that so we addressed a particular report that suggests even he thought he was coming to Chelsea.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
Look,
just give me a second. I wanted to start. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, look. He's been playing very well. The league really suits him the way he plays, his style. He's the one that really took. Kendra Payers was supposed to play in that position, that 10. He came in and took it straight away from everyone. So yeah, look, he's a very good technical player. Again, very plays very rough as well. He likes to get it into it. But yeah, he's got the physicality as well. Like I said, so he's a very good player, and he's really flourishing. In the system over there because how they play.
Yeah, we heard. Okay, Dante is hopefully he comes back. And Kishan, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. How are you doing? He says, you think Strasbourg bottom? Okay, you disconnected, Dante, but you're back. Dante, you're there?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay,
Yep.
you got disconnected, but go ahead. So he says, Kishan here says, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they bought him and he played well. If he plays well, Chelsea will bring him back. But at the time, I think even he thought he was joining Chelsea. I said it since they won, and Ciso is better than Garnacho and Gittens. Dang it. Do you really have to say that? So we're getting ready to go news on tonight. Go ahead. If you're back, you can start speaking. Your connection
Yeah.
isn't
Sorry, I'm
stable.
not
I know
not
it's
sure
not your
what's
fault.
happening.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. Look, so they did buy him, but it was a bit of a Chelsea.
You there, Dante?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me,
Dante, you're
Coach?
there? I can't hear you. I'm not sure
Yeah,
whether
I'm
you.
here, but
Okay, go ahead.
a buzz. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, your
Can you
7-Eleven
hear me or
connection.
not?
I can hear you crystal clear.
Let me come back in again. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, which isn't saying much indeed. Bob, if you're there, if there's any other topic you'd like us to discuss, up to you. I know you probably dozed off, and I can now understand. So it's time to go news hunting. Let's see if anything new emerged as the show progressed. We actually already, yeah, I can hear him too, but yeah, he wasn't hearing me. So yeah, I think it's best he goes out and comes back in. I think that will make a difference.
I'm still here.
All right, go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's happening. I'm not
No
sure.
worries.
Um, yeah, so it was a Chelsea slash Blueco purchase of Enciso, and apparently the agreement is for him to go play there a season, maybe two, and then Chelsea will get him. He'll be part of the Chelsea's long term plans. So yeah, that's what it's looking like, and the way he's playing, yeah, you can probably see that happening definitely.
Yeah, and I wanted us to talk about this. Do you see what your observations in terms of how our approach on the Liam Rosenior differs from that of Enzo Maresca? I'm not by any stretch of imagination saying that Enzo Maresca was bad for us. I still like him, and once he gets another job, I'll be following his team. I think the you can say the most obvious difference is the vertical passes. With every pass we aim to displace the opposition player. The intensity is quite different. Like how Enzo Maresca, you could say, played, how we played against low blocks are, I think, more different now. But I want to hear your observations. I don't know if you agree with my observations.
Yeah, yeah. He does like a diagonal ball, longer balls, and that was he did that a lot because the way he played with Emega up front, and Emega is 6'5", so he's a very tall guy. So they did like, and very fast as well. So they did like to play that system to get the ball over the top across to him, and if he doesn't get it, he can hold it up and then let others play off him, run off him as well. So but that was definitely a part of, and he's bringing that here as well. You see a lot of long balls. You saw that was the reason you saw the lap start on that right wing. One of the reasons he was there as an outlet. He was there for to go long, and we did that quite a few times. It didn't quite work. I think once it worked really well, but that's why he was there as well. But yeah, that's 100% that he likes that in his game. He likes to go long and really make the middle really compact, quick passing through the middle, and then once you make it really compact, where Maresca was the opposite. He liked to really spread it out and really play through that way. So two different styles. So like I said, compact in the middle, it draws the other team in as well, and then kind of burst outwards and in behind with balls over the top. So uh, diagonal balls as well. So yeah, look, that's just the style how he likes to play. Can it work in the Premier League? 100% it can work because the lap, he can play that role. He likes running like that into space. Joao Pedro, as you see, he's done it so many times. He likes that as well. He's that type of striker. And Mega, when he comes in, he, he was very, very, very good at that. So, yeah, look, that's just part of his play that he just likes to emphasize.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Having that height and physicality, we're so deficient in that area, and having the extra player with that outlet, I think, is going to make us even stronger.
Yeah, 100%, Bobby. Yeah. It's he's got that height. I mean, he may not be the most physical guy, as in strong, but he's very tall, and he's getting putting the muscle on as well. Actually, he's gonna get stronger and stronger. So he pretty much can win any header basically at that height, and that's why it will help us. Especially if teams are pressing high as well. You've got an outlet there where he will always you kind of can always go to him, and I think you will see that a lot. Um, that will happen a lot. I think we lost coach. Can you still hear me, Bobby?
Sorry, what was that?
Can you still
Yeah,
hear me? Because I think coach
yeah,
is out. Yeah, it looks like he's
yeah,
out.
yeah. I can, I can. Yeah, I mean, this is what I often talk about. I'm not saying the whole team needs to be 6'5". Of course not. There's room for those that are not that tall but are very skillful on the ground. But having the outlet and having the option, you see, this is what I like about Rosinia. He seems to me so far to be somebody who's ready to play in so many different ways, and that is a winner as far as I'm concerned. If you're flexible and you're ready to adjust your tactics to be unpredictable and to be able to deal with what comes your way, you're going to win. especially if you've got quality to boot. And if he can add to the aerial strength of the attackers, and hopefully, I don't think our defenders are that bad. To be honest, I think a lot of them are still developing. I think the returning Levi Colwell will help us. We're not that bad aerially. And the midfield, okay, I think we have probably about the best midfield in the world. The only problem we have is for the Premier League, aerially, there could be a problem. But Rosenior seems to have had an answer to that in that he will often take his centre backs, maybe bring on an extra set centre back to step into midfield to deal with the physicality and aerial prowess, which is what he
Yep.
did with Fofana against West Ham. So I think this guy might end up surprising all of us. He really, because he's a nobody, but he could very easily become a very significant somebody if he gets his squad right, gets them fit, gets them playing. I think we could be as good as anybody.
Yeah, look, he knows, obviously, he knows the English style of play and how teams play, the physicality. So, yeah, he knows that. The other good things, like I said, him as 6'5". Uh, Sar's also 6'4". So, Sar, the
Yeah,
new defender that's coming, he's 6'4" as well. So, that's another tall defender as well. He does like to play with three central defenders basically. So, and
But
he does
he's
like him to
actually
be
been
tall.
flexible since he joined, right?
Yeah, he's been quite flexible. Even to my surprise, I thought he was going to change it. Again, this last game we saw it. He went back to his old sort of system a bit more with two tens in behind the striker, and he had Neto as a sort of wing back, and then Gusto as a right wing
And
back,
we
and Neto as a left wing back.
there's nothing wrong with that when the time is
No,
right.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
no, no, of course not. So yeah, look, yeah, we will get more height in the team, which can help set defending set pieces, especially because we're not very good. You've got a 6'5" guy who can come back in the box with Joao Pedro there because he's very good in the air as well. The lap's very good in the air, uh, but being 6'5" gives you and he's got a big jump as well, big leap as well, so he can get up to where no one can. So him there, Saar being 6'4", just adds a bit of more stability to that defense and that attack as well.
definitely.
and Sars told us he's actually deceptively quick.
Yes, yes, he is 100%. His
One thing I wanted
positioning,
to say, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, his positioning and IQ is very good. He likes to watch the play and kind of anticipates the play. That's probably what I took the most out of him when I seen him in Strasbourg. He's got a very mature mind. He's got a very good IQ for football because he can see a play happening before it happens, and that takes a special type of skill to have that, especially defensively. It's very important, and he does have that, which probably the most thing that impressed me the most. Not the ball play, not that part I like the most because yeah, he knows he can read the game really well.
He has something else I wanted us to talk about, Dante. Um, again, before I even start that, how the players seem, you said they enjoyed the approach against Wolves. They were all, you could say, doing flicks and everything. You could say they were having a lot of fun on the day because the freedom they were allowed, I think, made a huge difference. And they're actually speaking about it publicly right now, which you could argue to a certain measure telling with regards to how Enzo Maresca wanted them to apply themselves on the pitch. And that's not me having a go at him. Some managers are like that.
Can I
Yeah,
please
of course.
comment on this because sorry to cut in, Dante,
Mhm.
It's
but
fine.
this is really something that interests me because I don't think Carlo Angelotti is a good coach, and people may scream at that, but just
Can you elaborate? Can you elaborate?
let me land
Lanceful.
now. Now, the reason I say that is that the genius of Carlo Ancelotti is he is one manager that knows how to allow his players to express themselves. Carlo is somebody that even when he was at Chelsea, he had Ray Wilkins with him. The understanding of the English game came through Ray quite a bit. You know, the physicality of, hey, look, you know, you've got to win the physical fight before you're allowed to play. But once he understood that, he would get the players to win the fight, and then he would let them play. That's why Carlo is a Galacticos whisperer. He is somebody, you give him all the talents in the world in one team, and he'll make them a winning team. Why? Because he'll arrange them in such a way that they will be able to play. So he makes his job easier. Whereas what a lot of managers do and they fail, Maresca, I think, is an excellent manager, but his biggest problem is he has this old Italian head, disciplinarian, the kind of thing that used to make players fall out
You
with
say Conte's biggest problem too.
Conte, and there's another guy. Oh gosh, the guy that managed England for a while,
Oh,
Fabio Capello.
Capello. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Capello,
yeah.
you know, they're so disciplined that they overdo it. You know, you can barely move a muscle without them saying so or planning it. And good players are stifled by that. And Carlo, who, funnily enough, is an Italian himself and played as a midfielder under a very rigid system of Arrigo Sacchi, he just lets you play. Now, whether that's because you know he's trying to hide his own lack of technical nous, I don't know. Because where he had to use technical nous when he was at Everton, it didn't go too well for him. But it just so happens that he's one of those coaches that has a rare gift of being able to arrange brilliant players in a way in which they can express their brilliance. And because he allows them to play, they'll run through a brick wall for him. That's why he's so successful. I'm telling you, you guys, everybody going to the World Cup, watch out for Brazil. They're going to be dangerous. Why? Because of Carlo. Carlo will let them play. And they don't need much invitation, those boys, to do their thing.
I
Just
get your
before that,
point.
sorry,
You're
coach.
talking about how Rosenior, how he's allowed the players to express themselves freely. I think that makes a huge difference, and you could sense the players are all happy given the fact that he's given them the independence to express themselves. That doesn't mean there isn't a structure in place, and I enjoyed that game against Wolves. It was just excellent. The you can say the third man runs, the everything was just excellent. The line breaking passes from each pass displaces one, two, three opposition players, and I like that vertical passes mainly. But then I don't know if you wanted to add something to what Bobby said. I just wanted to talk about. I want us to talk about his relationship with the players. I think we knew before time he's a very good man manager. I think it'd be accurate to say he's an excellent man manager, and I think we're seeing that. Uh Kopama, who didn't say much since the departure of Enzo Maresca, look what he said. Although I'm the sort of person I like keeping records. At one point, whenever he's happy, he speaks very highly of whoever is in charge. I remember after winning the Club World Cup, in the moment, he said something to the effect of Enzo Maresca is building something special at Chelsea. I haven't forgotten that. Yeah, he didn't say much until after he scored a hat trick. Yeah, I think it'd be accurate to say there's a pattern to that, but that's by the way. There are other things when you look at them, it'd be accurate to say he seems happier than he was. And it's also important to know that under Enzo Maresca, before Enzo Maresca left us, he wasn't playing that much because, yeah, he was nursing an injury. But have you seen what? Let's hear your observations with regards to the change in demeanor, the players, the relationship you sense. You can say you the sort of relationship is you think is cultivating here For me, I think it will go a long way, and that probably that I'm certainly that was why Bobby had to reference Carlo Ancelotti, how he allows his players the independence to express themselves freely, and how that yields great results for him. But let's say you let me not overthink it and get you confused in the process of asking you a question.
Yeah, look, just about Ancelotti. If you remember, I brought this up. We were talking about it a couple of years ago. Um, Ancelotti has the most, always has had the most assistance out of anyone, and it's not even close by how much assistance he has. So he puts a lot of time and care.
That's new to me.
Yeah, how many do you think he has?
No, no, no. But I believe that. I listen. Sometimes
No, I mean like
when
a
you
number. Give
know,
me a number. How many assistants do you think he has?
I'll say four.
More, coach, way more.
Yeah, but here's what I wanted to say is this: sometimes you overlook things, you don't pay attention, and someone brings it to your attention. You see,
Correct. Yes,
yeah,
and that's
exactly.
where I
So,
was going
but
with
go
it.
ahead with what you were saying.
That's where I was going with it. He relies heavily. He doesn't do much at all, actually. He doesn't do nothing, basically. He just
Are you
is there.
telling me that you and Bobby are actually agreeing?
He's a man manager, so he's, at that level, especially the clubs he's been at with the players. You can't use the other style because it doesn't work for those type of players. So look, he's got 17 assistants. 17, yes. Most coaches have 4 or 5, uh, but he's got 17 assistants, and they're all very experienced and have been with him for pretty much for a long time. And then he kept adding and adding all the best he could find. He was hiring everyone, and he's built a team of 17 assistants, and that plays a major part, a major role in the way he manages. Because, like I said, he's got those guys that do everything, and they bring stuff up and he may not see. But yeah, the point in his career, especially even when he was around Madrid, doesn't do much. He's not didn't need to do much anymore. He just needed to make sure the players are motivated, and just didn't worry about stuff on the training pitch or anything else. That's all he did, and that comes down to his the assistants that he has. Like I said, some very experienced assistants he has that would be coaches in many teams. So yeah, that's something people might not know, but yeah, he's got the most ever as a coach. He's got the most assistants by a long number, 17 assistants.
What?
Yep, 17,
One
coach.
seven per club, like my word. All right, but
No, Carlo
I'm
has
not saying that's a lie, but I'm just shocked at how you can say you
Ca-
and Bobby. I wanted you guys to fight. I thought you were
no,
gonna
it's
have
it's it's
you could say an opposing opinion, but you're actually agreeing with them.
there's nothing to fight about. The man has a gift in
Man
just arrange.
management per se, yeah.
Exactly, he
Bringing people together,
arranges
yes.
people.
Yep.
Carlo comes here, arranges people where they should fit, and sits back and admires admires the view. That's in a nutshell. I'm not. I'm sure he does a bit more than
So,
that, but
Bobby, where does Liam Rosenior come in there? Because what triggered that thought
yeah,
in
why,
you was the talk of how the relationship between
Liam?
Rosenior and his players.
I think Liam does a lot more. He's very hands-on.
And if you hear him speak
The
about
little,
football, you'd know that he's more than
yeah, I
just
mean,
a good man manager. Yeah.
yeah, he's more than that. You see him on the training ground. He's demonstrating free kicks to players and things like that. Something you would never see really from Carlo. Liam is, because he's young as well. He's new. He's not really a name, so he gets his hands dirty. But the where I reference Carlo is, it takes a certain manager to be able to take the reins off. Very few managers do that. Ateta doesn't do that. Definitely Guardiola doesn't do that.
And you got to have,
Um,
Bobby, like charisma, and that's Ancelotti has that in abundance.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You've got a relationship, and
Yeah, he's very very charismatic.
the brilliance I've seen of Rosinia, and just in this very short period of time. And I don't want to judge the guy because he has a long way to go, but he says it himself. He'll call the youngsters You'll tell them, look, I believe in you. I know you can do this. I know you can do that. Go out and do it. And you've seen it. Look at Enzo. I think Enzo Fernandez has really benefited from that trust in him. He's like, right, okay, I'm now one of the leaders here. And he thrives on it. I think Enzo has now started really enjoying his time at
Would it be
Chelsea. And
accurate to say he's become more expressive
definitely. Let
on
me
the
tell
pitch?
you,
Yeah.
you need to take a wrench to get Enzo Fernandez away from Chelsea because now he has ownership. It's his thing. You know what I mean? They told him it was his project. It is his thing. He is Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez, Moses Caicedo, Cole Palmer, and listen to Reece James. Listen to the way Rosenior talks. He tells them they are Chelsea, and they believe it, and so they're going to perform. He gives them the responsibility, and it's bringing out things. Look at Hato. He's made Hato believe in himself where Maresca, I personally feel, made him. I think Maresca damaged that kid's confidence. Personally, not that he did it deliberately, but he's too rigid. It takes a lot. The only one I'm really waiting and I'm hoping he'll be able to do something with is Josh. He keeps saying he will, but if he releases Josh to be the player we all know he is, my God, that's why I'm beginning to have more and more faith in this team and hoping for the injuries to come back because, dare I say it, coach, we've got the right
Wait,
man.
wait, wait. You're waiting for the injuries to come back, so you want more players injured.
No, I'm waiting for them. Maybe I phrased that wrongly. I'm waiting for the injured players to recover
For
because
all of them to be
that's
available for
Okay,
always
you
selection.
you
to
had
be
me a bit
available.
caught off guard there. I'm not going to lie.
No, that's me maybe misspeaking. You know, we have been plagued by too many injuries. I mentioned earlier, we've not really seen Lavia. We haven't seen Asugo at all. We're always seeing a recovering Badiashile. Levi Colwill, our best centre back, or perhaps arguably our best centre back, hasn't played at all this season. So we need to get these guys back. If for once Chelsea has a fit squad, we're going to have a formidable squad. I have no doubt because these boys have been together for now, what, 2, 3 seasons. They're motivated. They've learnt each other. The dressing room is tight, and the conveyor belt of people coming from Strasbourg now have the familiarity of a coach they knew at Strasbourg. This is a very dangerous project. If it works, the rest world football should fear Chelsea.
I
Are you
agree. Let me
look?
give
Even though
those.
I'm
Go ahead,
always,
Nipun, if you want to say something before I continue. Go ahead, Nipun.
even though I'm always called a toxic positive by everyone on Twitter, do you actually
As
believe
Bobby will
in
tell
these
you, it's not
owners,
just you.
especially Ekbali?
Mm.
Huh?
Bobby will tell you you're not the only one.
Sorry,
Dan did
coach.
the same
Coach,
thing.
you're drowning out what he's saying. We can't.
No,
We
no,
couldn't
he's
hear.
saying he's called a toxic, toxic positive on Twitter, and I'm telling him, not just him. I mean, they call me the same thing. They call Dante the same thing. Bobby sometimes they call him the same thing. But go ahead, Nipun.
Look, man, I just think the owners are getting way too much stick
Yeah, you're right. I think
for
you're
no
right.
reason at all.
I think you're right. I think we are a spoilt fan base and we're scapegoating. It's not an easy
Precisely.
it's not an
Look,
easy
look.
thing what they're trying to do. Putting together a project like this in such a short space of time with all the regulations that, mind you, was set up to inhibit Chelsea. Every single regulation we've got from PSR 1 and 2 to FFP to now this European sanction, it's all about Chelsea. And we have to navigate because everything we do to progress the club, they attack it. We found a way to elongate contracts. They cut the contracts. It's, nobody else did it. It's not cheating. It's there, but we do it. They cut it. We sell part of our own club to ourselves to boost our funding. They attack that with PSR2. So they're always hitting us hard because they know that once these guys are let off the reins, Chelsea's going to take over football for a very long time.
Dante, let me catch up with a few of we have there. I think I'll bring on Nipun later to get his opinion too. You guys, I don't watch that sort of football really. Not for any other reason. It's not a game. I've been in America for you could say how long, but it's not a game that interests me in any way. I have to be honest with you. Chelsea must get Matthews, Mane, and Salah Ganacho and the lap. Let's see what happens. And that is Kenyan Revolutionary. Thank you for joining the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. Matthews, Mane, and Gittins on the left wing. Estavo and
By the
Kenda
way, I can't
and
be the
Neto
only
on the right.
one.
Go ahead, Nipun.
I can't be the only one who thinks we did the right thing in walking away from the Jacquet deal.
I do think the same too. Bobby thinks the same. I don't know about Dante. For me, even before we we pulled the plug, I don't know whether it'd be accurate to call it that. Before we decided, you know what, we no longer need them. I suspected that was going to happen
Look,
because it was taking.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
saw my tweet, but I said if that's his mentality, I'm glad he didn't choose us.
I'm
Because
glad
his
too. I
mentality
mean,
is
he
like,
had to do
if
what he
I'm
had
not
to. What
guaranteed
works
a
for him.
starting position, I don't want to be here.
Yeah,
Good.
I liked him. But yeah, I was prepared in case we decide we're no longer you can say interested in signing him. I've looked at the you can say their options available to us. I was never that worried. But go ahead with what you were saying.
But Nippon, how are we following each other? Why aren't we following each other? I don't
Okay,
see.
you are Nippon.
I don't know. Are you following? Are you following me? I should be because I don't see positive people too much, and I'm like, well, where's this guy been? Wait, let me see.
Look,
Some-
man,
Somebody in the chat says Nippon is
I
sounding
tried to
like a
stay
knight.
positive after the Arsenal result, but there are so many people on Twitter. They will say, "How can you be happy that we lost to our biggest rivals, brother?"
Exactly, and
I
and
was
that's
seething.
actually that's sentimental. That's actually emotionally driven reaction to the fact that we decided we no longer need them, and for
Oh,
a good
speaking
reason.
of Arsenal,
Yeah.
I was at the game, and one of their fans started videoing me for kicking off without
Mm.
my permission.
Wow.
I was like,
Yeah,
delete that video. You don't have my permission to record me.
yeah. That's
And
not okay, really.
and he ignored me, saying, "Cry more, cry more. Arsenal, London is red.
Yeah.
City, I'm please. You've got one job. You've got one job."
I think they will get it done. I mean, Arsenal has to win the remainder of their game because City usually towards the end of the season they pick up form. But last season, I think
Well,
what happened
City
was
pick
that by
up
the time they
form,
picked up
but
form, it was a bit too
Arsenal
late.
also have a habit of imploding when it.
Yeah. Too much pressure. Dante, let's hear from you, from your observations so far. What do you make of, you could say, I think it'd be accurate to say the sort of relationship that he is cultivating.
Yeah, look, it's very important. He looks like he's already pretty, in that dressing room. We saw the stuff with Joao Pedro and some other players. So, yeah, look, he's very, very good at that. It's just he's got to, learn about the players more and get the right balance because you don't want that either where you're just a really, nice guy with everyone, joking with everyone and
Hmm.
trying to make everyone, that doesn't work. That won't work. You
I
got to
mean,
have a
he will implode at some point.
correct. No, well, the players after a while
Too
it gets a bit
familiar.
it's a bit familiar. It's a bit boring, and
Hmm.
it's not. Players are very fickle when it comes to that stuff. I only say that from one of my experiences. I had a coach like that as well, and yeah, it was good the first month, but then after that, the players quickly like, why are you like that all the time? Basically, so i- there's a fine balance where he's got to get it right, where he's got to be tough as well, but he's got to discipline, be tough, and do the man management, joke around, but if he's just really nice and just trying really hard with everyone, that will not work long term, in my opinion. So we'll wait and see. But I think he's all right because he's already passed the test at Strasbourg with a lot of young players. So 18 months there. So I think he'll be all right. But that is the only worry I would have, that if he's like that all the time and he keeps doing the same thing all the time with everyone, he tries to joke with everyone, get really close to them. you gotta you gotta read some of the players. You gotta read the players and knows which ones, because a lot of them don't like that type of stuff. So uh, there's always different characters in the changing room. So he's got to be very careful with that, where he doesn't overdo it and too positive, too nice, too much joking, because that will fall short after a while. It doesn't work. From my experience as well, that doesn't work. So
Look, man, I was saying this a lot to myself on ChatGPT. Um, Being a disciplinarian doesn't work in today's game. I'm sorry.
I mean, you got to have a balance, like Dante said. Well, go ahead, Nipun.
Yeah, I'm saying being a disciplinarian doesn't work in today's game. Like Jose's tactics. I mean,
in the
this will
English
sound
Premier
like
League you're
to
talking
a lot
about?
of Chelsea fans,
Yeah,
this will sound
let him
like
speak, Dante. Yeah.
disrespect, but his tactics don't work anymore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With that, I agree. But I don't agree that it doesn't work anymore. It does work because there's coaches that still do it. Look at Conte. He went to Napoli last season. What did he do? He's the probably the most out of all of them. So he can still be done, and that's why I said a balance is very important. Because even that with Conte, he doesn't keep a job more than 2 years. Doesn't matter if he wins titles, and that's because of how he is and the relationship with the players. So that's why everything's got to have a balance, not be too happy all the time, too much joking, and be too much, because players do not like that.
Wait,
They
they don't like it or they take advantage? There's two different things.
Yeah, that's the point. I wouldn't say don't like. You could say, but I think I get Dante's point. I think it's something. I don't know, Dante.
Mhm.
Correct me. I don't want to misquote you.
Yep.
I
You
think
can
what you're
look at
saying
it
is
both
that
ways.
something I saying
Both
at
ways.
some point it will start backfiring.
Exactly. Like,
Backfiring.
no, no. I think if you use disciplinarian tactics, it'll start backfiring.
Look, you have to use discipline. If there's no discipline, it doesn't
Discipline,
work at all.
yes. Discipline, yes, but not hanging people out to dry in front of the media. How? I mean, like,
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
the boy. Look, the this phrase everyone hates. The boys gave everything.
Hmm.
How do you know he doesn't discipline them behind the scenes? Just because he doesn't say it in public, like this person played bad, this player played bad. How do you know he doesn't do it when no? How do you not know he doesn't do it when the cameras stop rolling?
Nipun, if you paid attention, Dante did say something suggesting probably that suggests he's smart enough not to overdo it. That which was why he talked about the importance of, because having a good balance, you could say, of being friendly with the players, and also having to be, you could say, strengthen them if need be, for lack of a
Look,
more
for me, for me,
accurate term. But go ahead, yeah.
for me, he doesn't come out as the look. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't come out to me as the one who will always be nice.
I don't think he'll be,
If you
yeah.
know what I mean.
And I think Dante, Dante, did you not say something that we just meant? But go ahead, Dante. Let me not misquote you.
Yeah, no, coach. That's look. I know Nippon said not like, but no, it's true. There are players that don't like that. They will not. like him. They'll get turned off him. Not take advantage. That's different. There'll be just players that don't like that when it happens too much.
Yeah,
But just
like disillusioned. They'll just turn off, like
yeah,
disengage.
It could be it turns them. It could be a turn off to some players. It could be them feeling like he's just patronizing them.
yeah. No, they
Yeah,
won't
like
think that.
bingo.
They'll know. They'll know how he is. He's the way he is as a nice guy. He's you know, he was pretty tough as a player. He wasn't disciplined as a player. He always got in trouble as a player. So, look, he's got a rough edge as well. But like I said, he just needs to really. We'll only see that when it's gonna get a bit tougher how he reacts because obviously he's had a great start with the Arsenal. It was close anyway. It wasn't like a bad loss or anything like that. So yeah,
No,
when the
until you
pressure's on a
ask
bit
for
more,
Messi.
we'll see.
I think
Sorry if sorry if you can't see my face, by the way,
That's fine.
because
That's fine.
my parents are sleeping and
Okay.
my mum complained, so I said, you know
No,
what,
no,
I'm
no
just
worries,
coming into
Tuku.
my
No
car
worries, brother.
for the stream.
No
It's all
worries,
good.
man.
We're all the same
I think
anyway.
I think you find, from what I've seen of Rosinia, he's a very intelligent guy. From the way he talks, the way he answers the media, but there's an edge to him. The issue that he had with Arsenal when before the game they were training and encroaching on his side of the pitch for training, and he really told them off. He
He
really
did,
took
yeah.
off on them.
But
So
that's
I
not his own
can't.
players though. That's a little bit different, Bobby. But I know what you're
No,
saying.
but
But that,
these are
Well,
indicators of his
Bobby's referencing it for a reason. Let's see. Go ahead.
these are indicators of a personality that won't take too much shit from anybody for anything. He does it with the media, and I think what he's doing is very sensible. You have to get to know the players you're with, and the only way you can get to know them is to get to know them. He's a very detailed man. He wants to know everything about them, their home life, their temperament, and he will get in there. But I don't see him as somebody who's going to take nonsense, and I think he will communicate that. It's just, they've had the shock of losing a manager, they're having a new manager, high turnaround of games. There's no time to start clashing with people, when he doesn't even really know the qualities of all the players he's got. But I can assure you that come a decent preseason and him working with the squad he then has come to know, I don't see this guy taking too much nonsense from the players. He's not going to be harsh, but you cross him. I can't imagine him being the kind of person that will be easily messed with. Let's put it that way. As small as he is.
Yeah, and stereotype probably is the reason why a lot of people thinks you could say he'd be soft overall, and there's no tough side to him. I think there is, from what I've seen. In all honesty, you see, people were making fun of him. That video where he was trying to motivate his players, I think they were trailing at halftime, because if you can say his build, his stature, and because he's soft spoken, if you're going by the tone of his voice, not tone really, the pitch of his voice. But he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy in
The,
my opinion. And
the thing about
after the comeback against West Ham United, somebody says, "What did he tell this guys at halftime?" One of them said, "That speech you guys were making fun of now doesn't seem funny anymore because
Yeah, I mean,
it's a matter of communication, and he's an excellent communicator."
I
But go
mean,
ahead, Bobby.
these sort of coaches, first of all, to be a coach like that, you've got to be a leader anyway. And when you're small and you don't particularly look like you can take on any of your players in a physical fight, that's when you become more edgy and more feisty. Jose Mourinho was like that. I mean, physically, you couldn't compare him to the likes of John Terry, but John Terry and everybody else were terrified of him. Now he was just that type of guy. Now I don't see Rosinia as making somebody or making his team necessarily terrified of him, because that's not the culture these days. But I don't see
Yeah,
him being
fear-based
somebody
culture doesn't work anymore.
exactly.
Fear-based culture doesn't work anymore.
But I don't see him as being the kind of guy that will allow his players to take advantage of him, simply because he knows he's small. He knows some of them may fancy it, thinking he's just this little guy that they can push over, and he will have to stand his ground and let them know he's small but he's mighty, that sort of thing. And
Can
people
I
respect
can I just say
that.
something?
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead.
not saying all of them, but there are a certain faction in this fan base. I'm sorry to say it, who are judging him a little too harshly because he's English. I'm
Not
sorry,
just
it just
because
has
he's
to be said.
English. There's an outward undertone to the things they say and show online on how you can say
It's
to how they depict him. I just don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I'm just gonna
I know
I'm just
exactly
being
what you
careful
mean.
here.
I know exactly what you mean. It's a very small faction. That's a very small faction
That aspect
of
is
what
very
you're
small. Some of them are
but the
football,
English,
judging him
but
from a
the
football, you can
English,
say purely on football, on his, you can say, coaching ability,
the
not that
anti,
aspect. Go ahead, yeah.
the anti-English, the anti-English one is more though.
But
Like
no, no,
if
I
he
don't.
was,
No, no, there aren't a lot
if
of
he was,
those. Those are the ones that are
they're not, but they
superficial.
do exist.
Do you know what they do? Do you know what
The
drives? Do you know what drives the argument of those section? Is the fact that yeah, there has never been any Englishman that has won the Premier League.
look, let me just say something. If his name was, if he was like if he was Brazilian or French or Italian or even Scottish, they wouldn't have complained about the appointment
I do agree.
because
I
he's
do agree with
English.
that. Yeah.
It's because he's English. He's a former player. He's young, so they're saying, "Oh no, 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 Graham Potter vibes."
Some of them also just echoing what the big accounts they follow, the agenda they push. Because the truth remains that there are tons of Chelsea fans that I'm sorry to say, not able to think independently when it comes to matters, you say, related to Chelsea Football Club. They just come
Look,
online.
I've said a lot of things
If
on
one of their
Twitter.
big accounts
I've
says this manager is absolute nonsense, doesn't know what he's doing. That's it. That's a lot of this. I paid attention to it. I'm not just saying this for the sake of it. I'm not pulling this out of my wazoo. Usually I'll see stuff,
There's people saying
one of the accounts online says something, and then you'll hear whatever that individual, the owner of the account, said online. You'll hear it 1,000 times in the chat, unfortunately. But go ahead, what you were saying,
there are
Valentin.
people. Okay, uh, okay. You know now there are people trying to do whatever it takes to discredit the owners. Now there are certain people saying, "Oh, the owners are picking. Iqbali's picking the starting 11." No,
Which is
he
absolute
isn't.
nonsense, really.
Where is
Yeah.
the proof? Where
Yeah.
is the proof?
Yeah, they're just echoing whatever the big accounts online say. Just give me a few seconds here. Let me give the microphone back to those in the chat. It looks like my okay. There you go. This says, how do you? Let me see. Oh my goodness, what is happening to my system here? Okay, it reads, how do you know to speak of him in such a manner? It's too early to conclude. Let's give it some time. Here's Stin. All of us on the panel here, I'm saying that we're not, nobody on the panel has said that definitely that's the sort of person he is. We're speculating. We don't know him personally. So we're going off of what we know about him. And Dante is just saying, I think definitely I listened to him attentively. He's saying that hopefully he won't do it to the measure where it becomes an issue. And he actually, I remember him saying something to the effect of that suggests he remembers that he's a smart guy and don't think he'd do it to that measure. But one thing I want to also mention, the guy again, he has emotional
Coach,
intelligence, which
coach,
without
check the
you cannot be a good leader if you don't have good emotional intelligence. Go ahead, Nipun.
did you check the private chat? I don't want to say I don't want to display names in a
Oh,
bad
yeah, yeah, yeah,
in a
yeah.
bad sense. Just check the
Oh,
private
oh,
chat.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Okay, I'll check
I've,
it.
I told of who it was that said they
Yeah,
were owners were
yeah,
picking the starting 11.
yeah, yeah. And and a lot of fans now believe that's the case. Yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah.
BS in my
That's
opinion. It's
it does.
total BS.
Yeah, absolute nonsense. It just doesn't make any sort of sense, really. And here he says that to me, the selection he made for Napoli and West Ham, but he did change them. He has the blueprint and
He's not
decided.
stubborn. Like a
Listen,
lot of managers, he's not
yeah, exactly.
stubborn.
He does know how to be proactive, and he had to rotate. But once he sensed that, yeah, the lineup he had
For
on
example,
that day
for
didn't work.
example, if he
Go ahead.
sees for example, if he sees something that's clearly not working, he'll say, right, Garnacho, you're off. Or
Mhm.
Cole, you're on.
All right. Let's hear you. I will bookmark this. I will remember this. I will clip it. I remember you said that, but we'll see what happens. Carrick is another disaster. I don't what we've seen so far. Nothing suggested that he's a disaster. Rogers to be.
People are saying he's just
Mhm.
sorry if I keep talking.
Yeah. Go
People
ahead.
are
Go ahead.
saying Carrick is the only is only an English Ole.
You can say people are entitled to their opinions. We're all entitled to our respective opinions and our respective of everybody's opinion. And if you present yours, I'll present mine. And yeah, in due time, we'll find out yeah, who's right and who's wrong. But that's by the way, I'm not convinced by Carrick and Rosenior. Okay, you've made your point clear. What was it again that I was going to ask Dante? Dante, I don't know. You've heard what we've been talking about. You probably definitely do have. I believe you'd have something to add before we check if anything new emerged as the show progressed. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. I don't think anything new emerged. But let's say you, Dante.
Yeah, nothing really new to add. Just with the Rosenior stuff. Yeah, what I mean, I didn't mean that he would get taken advantage of. It's just a lot of players don't like that over positivity, over trying. They just don't like it. Doesn't mean they take advantage. It just means they won't like it, and they
I mean,
just
over trying reflects badly, irrespective of who is doing it.
yeah, and that's the only
Doesn't.
little tiny worry. But other than that, everything else is very good. So. Uh, Other than that, I think he's got everything and he should be just fine. Like I said, he's proved it at Strasbourg with the youngest squad ever in Europe. That puts our age, even though we're one of the youngest, their age puts our squad to shame how young they are. So he did it over there as well, very well for 18 months, and yeah, that tells you that he probably will be fine.
Yeah, let's see what Hero almost said. I think I missed one of your comments that you had up there, and I apologize for that. I just can't see everything. He said that Morgan Rogers is overrated. That's according to Kenya Revolutionary. Hero almost says that he is going to be a good manager, but he should not be playing players out of position. I'm not going to argue against that. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't listen. Modern footballers are supposed to be able to fulfill multiple roles. These days you don't hear so much about traditional players that are, you can say, are only traditional to start. You can say able to fulfill certain roles and not the others. Managers want players who are capable of fulfilling multiple roles, versatile enough to play on the left, on the right, centrally. I think when you have such players, your team, you can say, will be practically unpredictable in terms of for application on the pitch. But I don't know why. If not, then I still hear players out of position. Uh, but Anyway, we're all entitled to our respective opinions. Anyway, this is prophecy. Rosenior will be gone by summer, just like Carrick. Okay, we'll see. I remember you said that. Too early to make such experiment on the field is a game. He should do that on the training ground. And how do you know if they've not been trying it out on the training ground? I think they have. For me, I think he started life as a Chelsea manager, for me, near perfect in my opinion. Honestly. He's I get it. We've had two games where he started selected the 11 he had on the pitch were very poor. Now you could say we had to come from behind to win them both on two occasions, actually two consecutive games in a row. But yeah, listen, you're entitled to your opinion. Let's see. We'll see. For me, I think he's done well. I don't know. Anybody else on the panel has anything else to say about that before we call it a day?
No, look, he's like I said, he was. Yes, he is trying a little bit different because he's got. It depends which players are available, etc. So, he will do that time to time. He did that at Strasbourg as well. He played two different formations. So, yeah, look, they've had a little bit of time, but not enough to do it properly. But there is some more time coming up ahead when the FA Cup game is on. In between games, there'll be like 8 days, so they'll have quite a bit of time to hopefully implement a bit more of his actual philosophy and his style of play, which I think he will. We will eventually see that when he has more time to actually implement it, because we've already, we saw it at the start a bit, and we see it now a bit in the last two games as well. So, especially the last game, he's implemented that quite a lot. So there will be change, but yeah, when there's a bit more time.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
People are saying are judging all of our managers too harshly. Look, Mikel Arteta, when he first joined Arsenal, they were all saying, you know what, give him time, give him time, give him time. 6 years down, look where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Same way, but then Chelsea fans will come to me and say, "Oh, but we're not Arsenal. We are Chelsea. We don't do time."
Yeah, it's an interesting situation. Look, I think
Living in
Teta
the
wouldn't
past.
have. You can say I don't think if to some extent I understand that they say I do see what they're trying to tell you there. If I don't think
Look,
Arteta
man,
would have lasted 4
that
years at
arrogance, we are
Chelsea.
not Arsenal, is exactly the type of arrogance that
I
will
wouldn't.
turn
In
us
all honesty, I wouldn't call it
into
arrogance. I
Arsenal.
can understand. I don't think I wouldn't have been happy for Mikel Arteta to stay 4 years at Arsenal, at Chelsea, and win just the FA Cup. I don't think it would have happened anyway.
You think he wouldn't have won the FA Cup if he was our
No,
manager?
I don't think he would have stayed beyond 3 years
Then how
without
comes
winning. You
he's
could say a lot
already
more than
6
just the
years?
FA Cup. That's just my opinion. He wouldn't have, because Roman was still our owner when he took over at Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
Chances are he would have gone the year after spending how much he spent at the time. The Sanchez versus Pendes battle is going to be intriguing, I believe so. But here's the thing: I think Sanchez at the moment is a much better shot stopper. I think so.
Yeah, and arguably he could probably be our player of the season so far as well.
Yeah,
Do you
he's a
think
much
he could
better
make
shot stopper than
a
Pendas. Yeah.
Do you think he could make a case for trying to bench Unai Simon for the World Cup?
You mean who?
Unai Simon.
Who bench you? Who will make it?
Oh, Simon. Yeah, Simon.
The
Dante, you answer that.
Yeah,
Robert
Unai Simon,
Sanchez. Do you
the
think Robert
goalkeeper. And
Sanchez?
Raya as well, don't forget.
Yeah, do you
Raya too.
think
Yeah, they're
either of
all
them could
Spanish.
have a case to bench Unai Simon for the World Cup?
Mm, the manager likes the way he plays. That's why he plays a lot. That's why he's over Raya. Probably Sanchez. Probably Sanchez can do that pretty well. And then there's the other one, David Garcia. The one that just moved as well. To Barcelona or Real Madrid. I can't remember which one. Yeah, to Real Madrid, I think, or Barcelona. Which one? What's his name? David Garcia. So he's in there as well. So there's quite a lot of goalkeepers. Look, it'll be pretty tough, I think, to get that guy out of the goal just because the manager really likes him and he's using him to his strengths. I don't think he'll do that with the other goalkeepers.
All right. Let me catch up a bit here. Yeah, it will be. He says, my last comment, join me in prayer for the lab to leave. I'm not joining you because he failed in both matches. Here's the thing. What do you mean failed? Did we lose any of the games in question? No, we won both. So how does that qualify? I'm not sure how does that qualify as failure in your books? He
The
did the
first
right
half, people
thing.
forget that it's 90 minutes, it's not
Yeah,
45 minutes.
exactly. So,
So
if anything, you should even actually give him more credit for rectifying the issues that led to us conceding first in the first place. But again, you're entitled to your opinion. Look at the first halves of both Napoli and West Ham United. And the question I've posed to you: did we lose any of the games? No. Those are the hallmarks of a good manager: proactivity, and yeah, he made sure the issues didn't last. He
Can I ask a question, Coachila?
mhm.
I can't be the only one who thinks Arsenal fans are gaslighting us into thinking that they dominated the game at the Emirates.
No, they didn't. I wouldn't say they did. They
But do you
won.
not think we're being gaslighted by them?
No, yeah, no. I mean, if anybody allows them to gaslight him or her, that's the person's business.
No,
For
do
me,
you
no.
think they were trying to
Um,
gaslight us?
I mean, it seems so because Chelsea fans believe the manager that he employed the wrong approach on the day.
I'm going to say something very bold here. I
Mhm.
would say there were certain parts of the game that we had control. I'm sorry, Arsenal fans aren't going to like this.
Dante, what do you mean? What do you
By
think, Dante?
control, like
No,
possession.
I understand. I just want to get Dante's opinion on that opinion of yours. Response to that opinion of
yeah,
yours.
we did Nipun. And the first leg, especially with 10 men, I mean, they're just lucky we didn't have 11 men in that game because, that would have
And
made
we
it a
didn't
very.
have certain players
Because
too, and some of
stupidness
some of the players
happened.
we had on the pitch weren't fully fit. They were sick.
Exactly. So look, it's definitely, yeah, I think so, Nipun. But it
But the
doesn't matter.
fact
I'm not
that
worried about Arsenal
the
fans.
fact they can't be happy without being totally insufferable.
Yeah, that's just who they are. It's just a
Ah,
weird fan base.
look, if Chelsea had won, I would say, yeah, we got one over Arsenal, but I wouldn't go about
The
like
way
saying
the
showing
way they celebrated after beating us in a
look and
semi-final,
showing pictures of Wesley Fofana in tears.
I thought that
Hey,
was really funny.
genius!
The way
Why
they
not just show a
celebrated the
picture
win.
of Judas celebrating?
I couldn't believe it's like they won the Champions League final. That's how they celebrated that.
Nah, if they lose, look, if they lose, I'm going to post a picture of Kai Havertz crying. Look, you
I
can
think
say, "Oh, I
City will
don't
beat
dumb
them.
yourself down to their level." I'm sorry, they chose violence.
I think City will beat them. Yeah, banter them or yeah.
Um, I thought I'm a bit skeptical because they have a good record at Wembley.
No, City will beat them.
Arsenal have a good Wembley record.
City lost the last final at Wembley, right?
Yes.
For Pep Guardiola, I don't think such happens to him twice.
Yeah, Pep doesn't have a good record at Wembley when it comes to the Carabao.
Really? I hope that changes. I'll be
I'm
praying for that.
begging that changes.
Yeah. And Jerome says we bought those players in every position that they have played over the years. He played five inexperienced players with half of those matches. Who does that? Here's the thing. Let me ask you this: he had to rotate, and you should be thankful that he was actually prepared to change things, knowing that what he did was a risk. I give him a lot of credit for that. That's what defines managers who are good at what they do. I'm not going to complain.
Yes,
Go back and see the
I'm
lineup.
really,
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I
re-
watched those games.
I'm really intrigued as to
Go ahead,
what
Bobby.
I said. I'm really intrigued as to what is it that some of these Chelsea fans don't understand about having to rotate players. You know about Reece James, you know about Fofana, you know that Palmer is still recovering from injury. You know that there are various other injury prone players that or injured players. You know about the sickness that swept through the club. You know about the issue of Esteval having to go home to Brazil for a family issue. What is it? I mean, I don't understand some of these fans sometimes. Oh, why is he playing? He had no choice. He has to. That is the purpose of a squad, and he told you himself. You can't have a first 11 in modern football. You have a squad, and that's what you have to work with. So the conversation about, oh, why is he rotating and all that, it's a redundant thing, and yet some fans still keep going back to this. Don't they follow the team? Don't they understand about the fitness of the team, who's injured, who's not? I'm confused sometimes. I really am. It's so pointless.
Yeah. Anybody else has anything else to add before we call it a day? And here he says he had no, don't call it.
Can I give
Listen,
an explanation
he
on
had to
why
rotate.
I don't think Arsenal
Yeah, go ahead.
dominated that game? Look, domination isn't being nil-nil right until the last kick of the game. I'm sorry. They can say, oh, look at how many shots we had on goal, how many of them were on target. Yeah, look at how many shots we had as well.
Yeah, I agree. Bobby is spot on, but the quality level drop off is so bad. It's so bad and apparent. The squad quality levels has to be improved upon. As much as I
Oh,
agree with that, but the point is, on the
for
day
sure, we
he
lack
was
squad
prepared.
depth.
Yeah, yeah.
We
He
do
was
lack
prepared
squad
to make
depth.
the change, knowing that the amount of changes he made on the day was a huge risk. I give him credit for that. Without top players down, exactly. You're mentioning that yourself. So he had to manage the fitness of because manage the workload of each of the players to avoid
Is
them
this
getting
this
injured and
Arsenal?
and, and being out for a while. Go ahead,
Is
Nipun.
this Arsenal he's talking about with our top players
No,
down?
he's talking about the two games that the two back-to-back games that we had to come back from behind to win.
Okay. You know what? You know what I'm praying that happens? I'm praying that both Arsenal and Chelsea get to the UCL semi-final and and we face them off again. Oh, it'll be gorgeous if we
Yeah,
if we
we'll
knock
play
them
them a
out of
match first,
Europe.
so don't worry. We're playing
I
them a
will.
match first.
You have look. If
Yeah.
we knock them out of
No,
Europe,
match first is in the
I
Premier
am
League.
going to be
In the
so
Premier League. Okay, you're
shameless.
hoping. Okay, you're
I'm
saying you're hoping
hoping.
we meet them in Europe?
You
Okay.
see me toxic positive about the owners.
No, I know you do talk positive. You do speak positively about them
You've seen that already with the owners.
a lot.
You
I've seen,
haven't
yeah,
seen anything if we knock them out of Europe.
yeah. All
I
right.
will never
Anything
let them
else?
hear the end of it.
Let me see what Hiromo has to say. He did the right thing against Wolves. Because probably he learned. I was thinking Enzo Fernandez wasn't going to play that game, but he played, and it was the right decision. He should stick to the plan and put the men in their positions. All right, no problem about that. Anybody else has anything else they want us to talk about before we call it a day? We've been streaming for 2 hours and 54 minutes.
All good, coach.
All right. Anything else, Bobby and Nipun?
No, not from me,
Yeah,
coach.
just a bit of I don't know if you allow self promotion on
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah. Go
channel.
ahead. I apologize. I actually do you know how collaborations work, Nipun?
No,
I'll send you a
because
link. Okay, I'll send you a link if you click through it, but I'll still add you in the description right now and I'll still let you plug in yourself. But there's a link I'll send you,
cool.
you accept it, and then it will add the show to a column, to a row on your YouTube channel automatically. I'll do
I
that
don't know
once
how
the
that
show
works
ends.
because I'm actually streaming from my phone right now.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll
Hence,
send you the link. It's easy, but go ahead, plug in.
right. I'll just put the name of the channel because going out and coming back in is too much.
Just talk about it.
And
I'll add it here. I'll add it, and then I'll send you the link for the collaboration link. It's a new YouTube feature. It will add the show to your YouTube channel once you do the process. But go ahead, just say it. Talk about it. No worries.
look, I've
Google will
been on a
process the
sabbatical for
transcript.
quite
Go
some
ahead.
time on my channel, but I'm thinking of making a I'm going to make a comeback soon.
Hmm.
So when I do, I will try and do Premier League predictions and 2 or 3 live streams a week.
Excellent, excellent. You changed your YouTube channel, NS Sports, right?
Yeah, it used to be my name, but I wanted to make it sound more professional.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Is it NS Sports official?
NS Sports TV. It's got the
No.
Chelsea badge on it. I have about 700 something subscribers.
Yeah, I'm trying to call it NS Sports TV. One S or two? Okay, there you go. 778. Yep. So I found it. I've added it
Yeah,
there
I'll put that in. I'll put that in the in our. I'm gonna say it.
in the group.
Yeah, Twitter group.
Okay. All right, no problem, Nipun. I'll also send you the collaboration link. So with that, we've come to the natural end of this particular conversation. It's been an excellent conversation. And Nipun, thank you for joining. I want to say thank you to Hero Omo. Great discussion. Yep. I appreciate you, bro. Guys, let's hope for the best and keep an open mind. That's the most, that's the spirit. Yeah. You never know what you're going to learn from the person you're debating with or you're having the conversation with. And my bro at Deadwire Markham Jung, I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation as usual. Who else was here? A lot of people. Chimera was also here. And on the panel, also Kenya Revolutionary was here. And Lucilla was also here. And on the panel, we have Nipun Sharma, CEO, and it's Sports TV. I will process the collaboration stuff and also asking your panelists and Bobby, thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. And also the awesome man in Constantine Dunton. And if I miss your name, apologies, I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal, we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Keep blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part Chelsea forever will stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. But Chelsea forever will stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. But Chelsea forever will